fire in terms of the Republican-caused health care crisis. And that's why Democrats are determined to turn things around.
Republicans obviously disagree with that. Democratic and Republican leaders meeting with President Trump this afternoon. The president meeting this hour with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on ending the war in Gaza. A missile attack by Yemen's Houthi rebels sending a ship ablaze in the Gulf of Aden today. Still looking for a motive in the Michigan shooting and fire set by the gunman who killed at least 4 people south of Flint, Michigan. This is ABC News. The East Coast is still feeling the effects of Hurricane Humberto, and now some are bracing for rain from a new tropical system. ABC meteorologist Jeff Smith has more.
We have Hurricane Humberto staying out to sea, but sending some big waves toward the East Coast. Much closer to home, of course, is Tropical Storm Imelda moving out of the Bahamas. The trend has been to move this farther out to sea, taking a right-hand turn before it would make any type of landfall along the southeast coast. All the while, though, a front situated near Charleston and Myrtle Beach will enhance some rainfall along the outer bands of the storm. So there could still be 2 to 4 inches of rain, perhaps even some localized flooding in parts of the Carolinas right through the day on Wednesday. Meteorologist Jeff Smith, ABC News.
Video gamer Electronic Arts is set to be acquired and taken private in a deal worth nearly $53 billion. It could become the largest ever buyout funded by private equity firms, including one run by President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
It started off as a normal day. I felt fine when I arrived at the plant.
Ruth Junius's life was about to change.
Then I dropped my keys. They kept slipping out of my hand. My arm felt numb. A coworker asked me if I was okay, and I couldn't speak. I started to get scared.
Ruth was having a stroke. People around her weren't sure what to do.
They thought I should go home or lie down, but I knew something was very wrong. I wrote 911 on a piece of paper with my other hand, and someone called for me.
Because everyone acted quickly, doctors at the hospital were able to give Ruth treatment that started to reverse the symptoms.
Within a few minutes, I was talking again. I didn't know a thing about stroke before I had one. Now I make sure that my friends and family know all the signs of stroke so they'll get help fast if they need it.
No stroke. Know the signs. Act in time. Call 1-800-352-9424 for more information. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, National Institutes of Health.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
As more people move into Denver, it's causing additional problems with the volume of traffic and accidents. One of those problem intersections is at 8th Avenue and Calumet.
So hectic because it's like three lanes merging all at once. People just aren't seeing the signs, I guess, you know? Yeah. Some people don't pay attention.
I see some tire marks on there, so I imagine somebody probably rolled up on the side.
There's just too many people and too many cars.
So far this year, 55 people have been killed on Denver's roads. An Aurora woman is facing charges connected to the alleged disclosure of an ICE agent's home address in California. Investigators say 38-year-old Ashley Brown and 2 women followed the ICE agent home from the Civic Center in Los Angeles and live-streamed their actions on social media. The women allegedly gave detailed directions and told viewers to come to the agent's home. Brown and the others were charged with conspiracy and publicly disclosing personal information of a federal agent. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
From the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
Yeah, one delay up north should be improving now. They cleared an accident southbound at 84th. It did back up, looks like quite a ways through the area, maybe about 112th Avenue or so, but a little sluggish. We're going to see it picking up a bit on the front end there, but coming into downtown is going to be a little sluggish through Spear, 270 west up through Vasquez. Little construction out to the east on I-70 from Tower heading through Colfax. This is just west of the E470 interchange, but everything is calm. Foothills Drive looks good. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
I'm Ben Ferguson. And I'm Ted Cruz. 3 times a week we do our podcast, Verdict with Ted Cruz.
We're nationwide. We have millions of listeners.
We bring you behind the scenes, inside the White House, the Senate, the Supreme Court.
So download Verdict with Ted Cruz now, wherever you get your podcasts.
Selling a home can be stressful, especially when things don't go as planned. Hi, it's Marty Lenz for my friend Gay Ribble and the Empower Home team with Keller Williams, who created systems to handle every challenge, and the results are amazing. Here's what their client Kimberly had to say. Quote, our situation situation was anything but typical. We were out of the country when the house was listed, and the Empower Home team sold our home for $100,000 over the ask, all cash, and made the process seamless with their amazing support team. Stories like this happen all the time with my friend and realtor Gabe Ribble and the Empower Home team because they know the local market inside and out and have access to thousands of pre-qualified buyers and use cutting-edge marketing strategies that put more eyes on your home. Whether you're relocating or just want top dollar, Gay and the Empower Home team know how to get the job done, and if your home does not sell, Gay will buy it at a price agreeable to you. That is her guarantee. 833-453-SOLD. 833-453-SOLD. Online, gayhasthebuyers.com. Gayhasthebuyers.com.
Auto accident? Find out what your case is worth. Call Fuller.com.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
630 KHOW. It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Monday at 4. Yes, John Hickenlooper is still in the U.S. Senate. How can the GOP defeat him in 2026? And St. Kendrick Castillo, let's hope so. We'll talk about how you can help that cause. Join me.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, hello, and how are you on this beautiful autumn Monday here, as we always do, to solve problems, to answer questions, to take complaints. And we do have the studio mothership up and running with a camera. I'm going to bring them in just a second here. And John Fuller is our esteemed guest, attorney John Fuller, our auto accident expert for your auto accidents and injuries. His hallmark is that he will answer your questions without any obligation whatsoever up front. You call him and talk to him. A lot of people just want to talk. They're not ready to make a decision yet. They just need to talk to even to know if they need an attorney or not, for goodness sakes. So that's what John does. He talks to you. If you do hire him, it's on a contingency like most attorneys in that field. But unlike any attorney I know, you get his personal cell phone that you can call or text at any time. One time when I did that spot, somebody said, "Come on, Tom. He probably has a burner phone. Then he has his regular phone. And he probably gives out that burner number, so he can put it away and not worry about it." So I'm going to bring up our video of the mothership. And again, before we do that, I just want to, ahead of time, apologize for Mark's appearance.
Shut up.
How did you were like, you knew right away I was going to insult you. Okay, so now John Fuller, nice looking back. Okay, good, gotcha. Now,
look at that hairline.
Yeah.
The fact that it's all there is what you should really take note of,
For those streaming, you'll see lovely Suze to the right. Then you'll see Marky Mark.
Tommy.
Hi, Suze. I miss you guys. Well, no, let me amend that. I miss you. John Fuller, come on, man. Are you telling me the cell phone that you have right there, your personal cell phone, you're holding it up? Now tell me, do you truly give that to clients, that phone right there?
Try it out. Call the number. You have it.
I know. I know I have the number, but I didn't know if that's the one you give to your clients.
Now, it's been on my business card for 25 years almost. I'm not smart enough to have two phones, Tom. That's a lot of responsibility.
Just saying that, let me ask you something. When you call up these people, like on the side of the train, these people that advertise on billboards and park benches, do you talk to them? I've never called one. I've used you.
No.
The chances of Azar answering that phone are next to zero, right?
That's not Azar's cell phone, I can promise you.
Yeah. And by the way, we're not throwing stones at anybody. We're just saying John truly leaves himself open for discussion, conversations, and texting.
Well, my point is, most of those big ones, Tom, when you call up, of course you're not talking to the person on the park bench, but you would think you at least talk to an attorney. What I've learned recently is you talk to like a intake counselor.
That's right.
And then if you sign up and the case is good enough, you might get to talk to an attorney.
Now, by the way, let's just talk about this because you mentioned intake and all of that. And here's the bottom line. I think the number one thing people want in any kind of field, and this is where companies fall short. Companies are big on wanting to close a deal or get a client or get a customer, but short on information giving. I have ones, whenever I consult with businesses or give a talk at a business, I tell them the information giver, the one who gives information freely, will be the one that wins. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Years ago, and by the way, I should give out our number. You can call with any problem, any question, any complaint. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. That is our local number here for iHeart. And then we have the national number, and you can call it locally too, but this gets you into our system. Even if we're not here, we will call you back. That's our pledge to you. 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. So information. I want to give you an example. I mean, where information is important. Years ago, there was a mortgage lender. Many years ago when I got here, many years ago, there was a lender. And this lender had a database that showed every lender, every metro lender, and what offerings they had. At that time, it wasn't so uniform. People had special. In fact, a lot of it came back to bite us in the ass, loans, funny money loans and all that. But anyway, this particular lender had this database where they acquire all of the popular loan programs, okay? And what they're offering. Like this one has an ARM. This one has a rollover loan. Or this one has a balloon. This one has an interest only. This one has this. This one has that. It was at a time when loan offerings were not universal. So I said, this was so many years ago, I said to him, let's make this public. Let's start the Home Loan Information Center. The Home Loan Information Center. And he said, that's interesting. His partner said, why would we give this information out about our competitors? And I said, I'll tell you why. Because they're going to find it out anyway, but it's going to take a long time. And if you advertise that one call gets them all the information they want in the market, all of it, whatever Joe Blow has, whatever John Smith has, whatever Mary Doe has, you will give that information and they can make a selection. So here's what happened. People would call and say, I'm wondering what's the best for someone who's going to own their home for 3 years? Or what's the best for someone who plans on staying in the house for life? Or what's the best for someone who's 58 years old, blah, blah, blah. Okay. They would say, well, here are some loans available in the area. Or they would send out information. Email was sparse. It wasn't like it was now, but they would send out U.S. mail information on whatever programs they were interested in, or a sheet of all the programs. And a funny thing happened. This lender started making most of the loans, even though they gave out information about the competitor. Because sometimes a borrower would say, well, we like this ARM. Do you have something like that? Because they were already talking to a counselor and trusted him. And the counselor would say, sure, we do. And they would make clear that all of these offers could be matched by the Home Loan Information Center. And I swear to you, I don't know if they're still, I've lost touch with them. And I love the guys. They were good guys. And they became one of the largest lenders in Colorado. In fact, then they became a wholesaler. They were so big. But it's the Home Loan Information Center. Okay, a few years after that, I meet some wonderful people with the Burt organization. They used to be big sponsors. Burt Chevy, Burt Toyota, Burt this. Now, If I'm right, they don't have Bert anymore, right? Is the name anyway? So, a lot of the guys who started the Bert organization, really good people, and I started. It's like I don't have any new tricks. The Auto Help Center, and the Auto Help Center would answer questions about cars. Now, Bert said, why would we give information about our competitors? Same thing. And I said, because people are going to want to know about it. So when you tell them about, somebody across town, you can also say, but we have a Toyota that matches all of those characteristics, or we have a Chevy that can do that too. But it's not a hard sale. It's an information center. And I'm telling you, every time businesses gave information, they got the job. Or not every time, but I mean the majority of the times, because you rise above the static. You give information that people want, and then you become an advocate. And when you become an advocate, people gravitate towards you. And they think, oh, I'm going to call so-and-so. They'll know. And there are still opportunities like that right now. And in fact, John Fuller is really mimicking that kind of thing. He says, call me about anything. You don't even have to hire me. Call me. I'll answer all of your questions. And that really is being the information giver. And he'll probably tell us that he doesn't get every one of those calls, but he's there to answer your questions. And if you notice, I mimic that a lot and replicate it a lot in my advertising. I have my sponsors who are also advocates. And giving information about the competition puts you in a position literally higher than the competition, because you're open, you're honest, you're forthright, you're giving all kinds of information. John, on a percentage fee basis, not percentage fee, I mean on a percentage basis, when you give out information, I'll bet you that if you have a conversation more than once or more than 5 minutes, you ultimately get probably 90% of those clients. That's what I'm thinking. Now, remember, I'm saying a meaningful conversation, more than 5 minutes, and maybe even more than one call. Does it work out that way, or am I off?
No, I'd say you're pretty close. I mean, we field a lot of calls that just aren't a good match, and I still try to help those people, get their questions answered, or at least send them in the right direction. But if it's on point and something that's really in our wheelhouse, then yeah, you're probably spot on with the percentages.
And 45 years ago, when I come to Denver, Roger Ogden, who went from Channel 9 to Channel 4 and hired me when I was back east, he hired me as one of his initial hires. And we brainstormed the Consumer Help Center way back then. And he and I both agreed we were going to have a help center. Anyone could call about anything at any time. And it's really cool. I mean, the concept, of course, has been copied a million times. I mean, I can't lay claim to it anymore. But anyway, welcome to the show. I gave you a lot of history and a lot of information, but that's what we do here. We give out information on anything, totally transparent. So if you have a problem, a question, or complaint, here's the important thing. Don't let it fester. Consumer problems never get better. If you have a little, something that just doesn't feel right, and you signed a contract, or somebody's asking you to do something, or an investment, or something like that, just please be really careful and don't let it fester a long time. Call us for help. And by the way, speaking of help, waterpros.net will get you the best. When I say this, I mean it. The best water systems at the best price and the best technology. He keeps up on all of it. I'm telling you, if you take supplements and take care of yourself, you need to watch the water we're drinking. Waterpros.net can do reverse osmosis at the kitchen sink for $1,200. No one can touch that price. And he has an array of other products and services for your water. 303-862-5554, waterpros.net.
Done right. Kitchens, baths.
I don't have anything here, right?
No shit.
8%.
Well, thanks for being an asshole. I just wanted to ask, how much time do I have?
Make a great time to call.
6 minutes.
Okay, brother. Thank you very much.
Or drhi.com.
Joe, I know my friend, we've got a big event coming up on the 15th, Joe. Tell everybody about it and tell them about the product we're going to be discussing. But more importantly on this, tell them about the free movie, the free popcorn, the free drinks, please.
That is right. Mark, we have shown a private showing of the acclaimed movie called A Baby Boomer Dilemma.
Yeah, people should actually Google that. It's like a real Hollywood-type movie.
It is. And it talks about the dilemma that baby boomers, people that are, they're just getting near retirement.
Yep.
They're having problems. They don't understand what's the best way, what's the best way to go, where to go for help, what product should I get? So this Baby Boomer Dilemma, it's an amazing movie. It's a private showing, and it's going to be October the 14th, Mark. October the 14th.
You know what's funny, Joe? They really dive into some stuff with Social Security and what's going on. If people are paying attention, man, this thing could run out of money. This safety net put in place by the federal government many, many moons ago could literally run out of money. And everybody's been talking about that for 10, 20, 30 years. But it's getting closer and closer. People better have some form of guaranteed money to have a retirement fund set up. I mean, so they can pay their mortgage or buy food or have the car bill.
Yeah, or just have their paycheck continue after retirement.
Yeah, And I love that word guaranteed, and we're going to be talking a lot about that during the movie, man. We can't wait for that to happen. That's going to be on the 15th at the
No, October the 14th.
Oh, 14th.
October the 14th.
AMC 24.
At 7 p.m. at Highlands Ranch, AMC 24.
Nice.
We're going to provide the popcorn and soft drinks absolutely free.
Awesome. Listen, people, go to mymoneymyway.com to get signed up. You can call from there, or I think you can sign up directly from there. But mymoneymyway.com. We look forward to it. Get signed up now.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globe...
Coming and going. I mean, it wasn't 50%, but it was probably a good 30% was lost,
How long's the mic been fucked up?
Since some fucking jackoff started doing this.
You know that we're a call-in radio show, and that in order to get any sort of free recourse...
I'm going to put a fucking trouble ticket in the way I put them in.
Do it.
Drop it on their damn desk.
Include in the email, I'm not dead.
So
we all thought you were dead.
I'm going to go ahead and forward your email. I've got it right here to all of our people, and they'll be with you momentarily, probably right after the break. So hang on, okay? Okay, hold on.
Now what you do is you email Dominic Tepper.
He's blowing up everybody.
And then who's the main fucking guy? What's his name?
Jojo.
Irby, Mike.
Ooh, good luck with all that, people.
Don't want to get on his bad side.
Well, just buy him flowers.
He does like flowers.
Do you want to swap out this mic over here, Mark?
No, I'm not going to touch anything. Then it's going to be like, oh, he moved the mic. That's what did it.
Oh.
Well, I will tell anybody that you give it a hand job every time you talk.
I do that. I have done that every show for 10 years.
Oh, and I wonder why it would finally give out. That's so weird. I'm shocked.
It's all... Is that all echoey?
That's echoing.
It is coming from Tom's home. He has a large home with
I just had my monitor turned up.
Oh my God.
Oh, so you have a small home. Okay.
Now I have the monitor turned down. The echo's coming The echo's
It's
coming
off
from your
of
monitor.
The mirrors, the wavy mirrors on the wall are.
It's your
giving an
monitor.
echo.
Hello? See, that's you. That's not
turned it
me.
way up. I turned it up so we could hear every breath you take.
And all my sniffles, right?
Oh, that's so weird. He cut out. Was he moving
Yeah.
the mic? I don't know.
What?
No, you cut out for a sec.
I did really? Oh, that's
Yeah,
dangerous.
the internet does that. If you
Maybe
ever
that's good
watched
that Mark's
porn,
here now.
yours
God,
was up.
I can't believe. I can't believe.
It can't be.
Shut up. Here
It's
we go.
not wherever you get your podcasts.
Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-8255. Let's talk to Judy. Has an issue with garage doors. And what's going on, Judy?
Well, hi, Tom. Thanks
Hi.
for taking my call.
Yes. What's happening?
Well, we had the first coating put on brand new concrete. We let it cure and everything. So this Hello Garage came out and put the polyaspartame coating on our garage floor. This was in May of 2024. And then in the wintertime, it was around the holidays, the car brought water in. Anyway, we noticed a discoloring of the flakes. So we called Andy, who was the owner, and he was very nice.
How did you
He
find
said,
this company to begin with, if I may ask you? I'm always curious about stuff like that. How did you find this garage coating place?
Well, we were getting a new driveway, new garage, so we wanted that coating put on, and we knew it was,
Right, but how did you find
$$1,000.
that company in particular?
I looked online, so I had 3 or 4 companies come out, and Andy, to me, was the best customer service. He had a 5-star rating, and and he gave us about the same price as everybody else, but I just liked how he presented, and he talked about, he came from Ohio, where his family was, and he started the business up here, and he just presented himself very good, and so I went with him.
And it was called
You know,
Hello
the fact I just saw him
Garage,
online.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Hello Garage of South Denver, and they're a national company, so it wasn't a fly-by-night guy.
Well, actually, they are fly-by-night guys. I'm not talking about this particular one, but let me explain something. A franchise is simply someone who bought the rights to use a name to get in on the marketing and the supplies. And most of the time, people who don't have the money to start their own business from scratch buy a franchise. Now, I'm not saying that franchises are not good people. I'm not saying that at all. But the fact that it is a franchise certainly doesn't assure you that they're great people. Now, in this particular case, it's probably the Hello Garage that is the national franchise, because he named his Hello Garage of South Denver. So I guess I guess now, and let me explain something. And Mark will tell you the same thing. He had his done, and absolutely, I had mine done. People, they can just buy this stuff, get some temp workers standing outside of Home Depot, and call themselves a garage coating company. It's really doesn't take anything to get into the business. So we get a lot of complaints about this. In general, I'm just telling people, this is not directed toward you, but we know that 90% of it is prep, and people have a really hard time getting a good coating. So tell me what happened. May of 2024, Hello Garage does your coating. So what's going on?
Well, it was a brand new concrete, so they didn't have to even, fix up anything. So, and then he went to redo it because of the discoloration of the flakes. So we chose to have it done on May 12th of 2025. So we emptied the garage again. And
now, did he do what he was doing this? He was doing this under warranty.
Yes, he was doing it under warranty. He said the manufacturer was going to supply it, and he was covering the labor, so it was no cost to us. We did pick a new color.
Okay.
Just because I didn't want to have the same issue.
Sure.
And anyway, so we were gone out of town, and just last week, when we got back, we were gone for 10 days, got back by the back tire. Aside from my tire, I saw this peeling of the floor.
Yeah.
And it was like, seriously, again?
Yeah.
So I called. I had his card. Well, it went.
Well, let's just get Judy. Let's get right. I don't need to know the process and how you contacted him and how.
Yeah.
I need to know
but
what
I can't get
happened.
they don't want to cover.
They
They don't want to cover anything.
Well,
Nope,
hold on.
they
So
said
you had it done in 24, and then they redid it when? When was it actually redone?
In May 12th of 2025.
Oh my God, that was just a few months ago.
Yeah, they sanded it all down, took everything all the way down to the concrete, sanded it all, redid it all. I mean, I was home. I watched the whole thing.
And then how long
And
after
then,
that? How long after that did the hot tire start picking? It's called hot tire pickup. How long after they redid it did you have problems again?
Well, I just saw it last week. So
Okay.
the last of September. So like four and a half months, I guess.
Hey, Mark.
So
who's that guy that we have? That I don't
TJ.
know. We might want him to come out and just look at it and give his opinion.
Well, it sounds like it's got to be redone. I mean, it sounds pretty straightforward.
It does, but
it's
man,
just in one little
how much
spot.
did you pay
But
for
they
this?
Won't even come out.
How much did you pay for this?
About $3,700.
Yeah.
35. And
Okay.
I mean, I have all my paperwork. For it,
but
yeah.
Mark, it might be. It might be something else. I mean, in other words, what part of, don't give me your exact address, what part of town are you in, kind of? You know, where are you?
South Centennial, north of Park Meadows area.
Now, you
South
can't
of
get him,
BCC.
you can't get him to even answer the phone?
No, so I called the national company, and Liz there says, oh, well, it was the franchise. They have to cover the warranty. We're so sorry, but there's no one in Colorado that can help you.
Well,
said,
is this guy out of business?
I guess he is. That's what she said. She wouldn't give me any other. I had his email. I had his phone number, his cell phone number, and yeah, it all goes nowhere. So it was a 15-year warranty. And
well, you see, but that warranty doesn't. You can make it a 50-year warranty. What difference does it make? Warranties don't mean anything. Warranties are simply as good as the person who wrote the warranty. And in this case, I hear Hello Garage saying when the local guy's out of business, that's tough. You know, you don't get any help.
Yep.
Well,
no help at all.
You said he was great and he was reputable and it was a national company. And I want this to be an example to people that a franchise name means nothing. It's the person. Now, who is the person you dealt with?
I dealt with Liz at Hello Garage.
Liz.
That's who I. LIZZ, and that's who I talked to last week. I have the 866 number.
Wait. I'm not. No. That's the national franchise. Who did you deal? Who's the guy that came to your house locally?
Andy McClune, McCune. He was the owner of the company.
Andy McCune?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on a second. We need to get some. Now, his phone still works?
Not work. As soon as you dial it, it goes to call canceled.
Okay. Well, there's nothing we can do about it.
I
mean, we can try to call. We can look at. I'll give it to Bo to call Hello Garage nationally, the person you talk to, and see if we can. Let's see if we can get them to do something. But I kind of doubt it. Listen, I'm telling you, these businesses that have low barriers to entry, they tend to attract people who don't stick around. I mean, we've had it happen before. We've had it. Judy, I even had it happen with someone that I thought was going to do a good job, and he turned out to be a clown. It's because all they have to do is buy this material and call themselves a garage coating company. But you may be able to salvage that job. That's why I think we should give you the name also of our guy. Mark, is he still on? Is he still on the referral list? Because I'd like to see if he's really, really good. And what I'd like to see is if sometimes you can patch it and you can salvage it. If the rest of the floor is really looking good and it's solid. But what I would suggest is not to do it yet. I would let that floor season a while before you try to patch it, because there may be other areas that come up. Again, Mark, what is the name of the actual company that you dealt with, that you love them and I love them? What was his company name?
TJ Elite. I'll have her give him the caller the number.
But what is the name? Oh, is it Elite Garage Floors?
Yeah.
Okay.
He might be going through a name change, though. That's why I was hesitant.
Okay. So hold on, and then give this to Bo to call the national company. Sorry, folks, this happens all the time. Remember, warranties don't mean a thing. They really don't. Unless it's like General Electric or something, you really can't depend on warranties. It's so funny how they say 5-year, 10-year, 20-year. One person told me one time, well, I went with this company because it was a 25-year warranty. Guess what? The LLC goes out of business. You don't have any warranty. That's just the way it is. And also, warranties aren't inherited. So if another guy opens up one of these garage coating places under the same name, Hello Garage, even Hello Garage of South Denver, somebody could reopen the franchise. They would not be responsible to you. Warranties mean nothing, literally nothing. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up.
All right.
This is Denver's talk station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
From the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
All right, not too bad on the drive for city traffic. Looks pretty good. It's still light, maybe a few slow spots, nothing unusual. We do have rock scaling up once again. First time for this week. It's going to be at the Veteran Memorial Tunnels, where they have both directions of I-70 closed. We're backed up eastbound out of Idaho Springs and coming down Floyd Hill for westbound. It is right now at a standstill. Let's see, we've got I-70 out to the east around Tower out towards Colfax. Some construction is holding you up. I-25 looks pretty good across the city. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, Vietnam War swiftboat soldier Ollie Hale tells the story of his life-changing family secret.
Okay, we were talking about warranties, right? K&H Home Solutions, the business started out at as KH Windows. They have been in business 65 years with 3 owners, but each owner knows and has integrity, and they have upheld the name. And I've known all the owners. I knew the original. I've known Ted and now Lee Diamond and his son. K&H Home Solutions, a company that has proven themselves over the past 65 years. KHWindows.com for windows, siding, doors, and more. K&H has what you're looking for. Let me tell you this real quick. They also have a showroom, a new showroom for looking at all of their wonderful stuff. And I want you to look them up at KHWindows.com and find out about their showroom where you can actually touch and feel all of the wonderful products. 720-421-7100.
When they're in the kitchen and the chick, the Wednesday, comes up and she goes, "Is that for your brother?"
One-way ticket. I figure it out.
You can't
and she gets this big ass thing and hands it to her.
I would totally figure it out if I was going to decide to be homeless.
That'd be where
I was like, oh my God, that is such my family.
I particularly like how
You have
Your
to.
shit is out on the
You
porch
have
and you
to
drive by all those
remember
condos
that
and
part of the
stuff,
movie.
laundry,
Absolutely.
you know, their hot water heater and their washer and their dryer.
There's a
all
lot
out
going
the
on
porch
in
and
those
stuff,
homes. You
know?
can't really tell what are the nice homes and which
I
ones
know they all look like shit.
Now, wouldn't you agree, Mark? It's like
What's that?
with Hawaii, it's like sometimes you don't know if it's the nice home or not because everything looks kind of dumpy outside.
I'm trying to figure out.
Here's a fucking problem. Literally, this wire's half broke off. Literally.
That'll do it.
Can you hear that? I hear it in my own headphones.
Yeah.
This thing's on its last day.
We went on a hike yesterday.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Hey,
halfway up the trail,
Shannon.
this goddamn bee.
He left just for a second.
Well, okay, but someone told me, not you two, but somebody else told me that they tuned in 6:30 a.m. and they're getting another program. They're not getting us.
2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up itching like nobody's business.
And I don't know what that means.
That's just weird.
Like on the podcast? Or
No,
on
the broadcast.
I get stung. I take an allergy pill. That
The
helps.
broadcast.
All right.
They said that they're listening to 6:30 KHOW and they're not hearing the show. They're hearing another show.
Gregory Canyon out of Boulder.
Oh, cool.
Here's the problem. Check it out.
Where are they calling from? Are they calling
And
from?
that, once again, probably wouldn't be from this. I doubt.
No, never.
Is that a new one?
No.
That's weird.
But it is from that. But it's no big deal, and it happens. Did you know that the space shuttle blew up twice?
No.
No.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that was a terrorist attack.
Managing Okay, here we go. Deputy Doe.
You're good
Deputy
there,
Bo,
Shannon.
and then where's?
You're like management potential here, you know?
I don't even see Chopper.
Let's see if that works. And then if somebody comes in, show them the frayed knot.
The
Well, you've blocked
Tom,
a
you hear me?
lot of people.
Thomas.
Yeah?
Okay.
So, Tom basically said
You're
that
saying
somebody on YouTube is saying that they're.
It's not someone on YouTube. It's someone in their car who tuned it in on the radio.
No, someone just said you can eat.
And is getting a different show.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
Okay, good. I just want you to know now I had 3 of them. 3 people tried to tune us in, and they say that the frequency is broadcasting another show. Now, I don't know if it's bullshit or whatever. I have no idea. It could be that they're just not tuning it in properly. I don't know.
Pretty easy.
And I'm, yeah, having been divorced a few times, I'm always willing to blame the other party. But I will listen when we get back in, because right now I am hearing the Done Right commercial that's running. So.
Okay. Yeah, it might look at who knows what the hell. I sometimes I get shit like that. I don't know.
It happened to me listening to KOA and driving around somewhere, and blip, it was some show that was not KOA for a second.
One
blip went back. So
one day for about 3 or 4 hours on KNUS on the weekend, they were broadcasting 2 signals at one time. It was, you couldn't even, there were 2 shows overlapping each other.
It certainly happens. Worse things have happened, though. Here we go, brother.
Fuller.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Get your furnace cleaned and checked. Only $39 from Fix It 24/7. It's like a total refurbishment. Do it. You can feel that cold starting. Get it before the cold comes, and you get a no breakdown guarantee. Just $39. 720-526-3939. We have John Fuller with us from Fuller Law, and somebody's texting me. And by the way, let me remind people where they can text me. You can go to the short code, iHeart short code 57739, and just text us there. 57739. Or my personal cell phone text. Well, this is my Google number that goes to my cell phone, 747 999 5280. 747 999 5280. Someone wants to know, is dash cam footage, is that admissible in court? Can it be used as evidence? John Fuller.
Yes, sir. Absolutely it can.
And is it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, dash cams are most effective at making sure you don't have to go to court because they completely eliminate the argument about what happened.
Okay. And so you really love dash cams.
Absolutely.
Okay. So for the texter, I'm just writing back, yes, admissible. Are there any conditions? What are the rules for getting it admitted? They just give it to you and that's it? They say here. And it's probably used, as you said, more as a negotiating tool, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really an authentication process that we have to go through to use it pre-litigation. If you're in litigation, it has to be authenticated, and there's rules for that. But generally, if you own the dash cam and you can attest that it's a fair and accurate representation of the scene and the accident and the vehicles that were involved, then you're going to meet all the evidentiary standards to get that to come in. And so, it's a really simple foundation to lay to get that video in.
Okay.
But like I said, most of the time, I don't think I've ever had one that really we still had a valid dispute after presenting a full color video of the accident happen. What else is there to really argue about,
Okay. All right. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Drew, is this Drew from back east? It can't be. Drew?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Yep. Yeah.
Drew, who are you suing now?
I'm not going to talk with you if you have an unchristian attitude. You see, the problem with
if
you
I have hold on. If I have
a
Christian attitude?
Oh, you don't have.
I don't.
And Tom
Okay.
Can name me one noble thing you've done in your life.
I'm really happy that God and Jesus put you in charge of judging. So you have judged me, and you're saying I am not. I do not have a Christian attitude. Is that what you're saying, Drew? I do not have a Christian attitude. I got to get it straight.
I'm trying to say your attitude stinks. You always mock me.
No.
We have stood up for the right thing, protecting minorities, children, old women, and it's very, very difficult. And I was just calling now to state there's a crooked judge we're taking on.
Now, why is this judge crooked? How'd you come across this judge?
He has a clear conflict of interest. Mark, I'm not judging you. You and I believe a lot the same. But in any case, he has a clear conflict of interest, and he falsely judged the case.
Which case, Drew? Which case?
I'm not going to go into details. You only mock it. But it's important to listen to this. He married the defendant at a ceremony. He was the master of ceremonies, the guy who read the vows. He's a personal friend
when you
of the
say
defendant.
he married, you mean he officiated the wedding, or the ceremony?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you think because he officiated the defendant's wedding, he has a bias toward them?
So would most of your audience. If you ask people, would you want to be judged by a judge who married the defendant, officiated the wedding?
No,
Everybody
I wouldn't.
would say no, of course not.
But Drew, in order to, and I want you to truly just stop insulting me about the past. I need to know some information.
Okay,
This judge was sitting in judgment of you, and you believe he was biased. When did you find this out? After the judgment or before? Did you know going into court that this guy was connected?
About a month after the judgment.
Okay. And
About
how
a
did
month
you?
after, the librarian found it. It's in a newspaper. Old newspaper.
But can you just roughly tell me what was the case that he adjudicated?
No, That's not the issue, and you're just going to complicate things.
Drew, it is an issue because I want to know how was he biased? I have to know a little bit about the case. I mean, I can't do this without that, but I will tell you, and John Fuller will tell you, and by the way, I'll give you John Fuller's personal cell phone after this, but Drew, here's the deal. You suing a judge for bias or conflict is so incredibly tough. John, on a serious note, if you think a judge is crooked, if you think a judge is biased, what options do you really have after a judgment has come down?
Well, I don't think there's any real judgment or any real option that would result in damages being owed to you by the judge. If you had a judgment that was the product of fraud or a bad conflict of interest, your remedy would be to set aside that judgment, and then you could potentially take up the issue with the Supreme Court in that jurisdiction to adjudicate the wrongdoing of the judge. But it wouldn't result in a civil damages
No,
penalty
I understand,
against the judge.
but he could have the hearing, a new hearing, but he'd have to prove, and I have to take this break. I'll come back and explain what I was saying. Hang on.
Yep.
And I really don't understand what I just said.
Now, Impact Traffic.
Love that.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
All right, not too bad on the drive for city traffic. Looks pretty good. It's still light, maybe a few.
Love the giving him John's cell number line. That was great.
Time for this week. It's going to be at the Veteran Memorial Tunnels where they have both directions of I-70 closed. We're backed up eastbound out of Idaho Springs and coming down Floyd Hill for westbound. It is right now at a standstill. Let's see, we've got I-70 out to the east around Tower out towards Colfax. Some construction is holding you up. I-25 looks pretty good across the city. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll share the story of the origin of how basketball came to be. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Great Western Buildings. I can't say enough about these people. They are cleaning up the industry, or they're the ones. Okay, I wouldn't even consider a metal building, a steel building. I wouldn't even consider it unless I went to Great Western. You see, the industry, they're full of liars and cheaters that say that they're part of a factory and it's factory direct to you. And I am telling you, they're liars. GreatWesternBuildings.com. They are truly a factory right here in Colorado, employing many, many people and 120,000 square feet, American steel, 100% lifetime guarantee. And these people have been around and they can honor it. They're great people. Now listen to this. You call them and they have flexible lead times, engineering in-house, and they can go direct to you. GreatWesternBuildings.com for a garage, a barn, a riding arena, an airplane hangar, warehouse. 303-495-5701. 495-5701. GreatWesternBuildings.com. Hey, speaking of great companies that clean up an industry, that's Red Rock's Roof and Solar. My God, is the solar industry a bunch of clowns. Red Rock's will do a commercial solar system for you from sales to installation to service, and they can service any existing solar system as well. Red Rock's Roof and Solar. Now, you can have a home-based business that qualifies, an agribusiness. You might be a landlord and you want to explore a commercial solar system. Give them a call, 303-704-2449. Plenty of government incentives, and you can make positive cash flow selling the power. 303-704-2449, redrocksrs.com.
Unbelievable point. I'm like, these fuckers seem to know what they're talking about, right? Every other time when we went to Clearwater, when we went to, 2 or 3 other cities up the coast, and we looked at the flood certificates, and they're all like 4 or 5 feet above high water mark, and I'm like, no, not a chance in hell.
So you think they're bogus?
They were legit, and they were proven to be legit when the hurricanes came, and they all flooded the hell out.
Kelly, can you hear me? Kelly, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Is it good?
I couldn't hear you talking just now, so I thought maybe there was a problem with it. But apparently it's okay.
I was on air and no one could hear me.
When just now?
Yeah, there was
During Drew.
I was talking to
No,
Drew,
during Drew.
Oh,
and there was nothing.
huh.
He could. At first, I thought Tom was just overrunning me.
Mark was judging him, which is an important component of the show.
I like how she
I heard something that sounded like fly.
Oh, no, that's my
What do they do with these? Do they send them off to have rebuilt?
Nope. Yep, it's all Dom and Dave. You know Dave.
Oh, so they rebuilt.
Yeah. Okay. I'll find another. Oh, actually.
Go grab one from KOA. Give me a room.
Guarantee to sell your home at your price, or he'll write you a check for $5,000. He puts that in writing. He can make that guarantee because he spends tens of thousands of dollars generating demand. And right now, he has hundreds of approved home buyers ready to buy. He just doesn't have enough houses. So if you have a house, Troy might have that perfect buyer for you right now. Give him a call, 720-900-4433. Let me give you a story. Just last week, Troy listed a house that was on the market for almost a month. You know what? Troy sold it for full price in less than a week. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash and you can close in as little as 7 days. Call Troy and get your home sold for the most money.
Kelly, how are we doing on the break?
4433. Again, that's 720.
How are we doing on time, Kelly? How long is the break?
Troy Hansford with Remax Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply. Period runs from October 15th to December 7th. Don't guess what your Medicare plan is going to
And
cover next
again,
year or
that's
what
you,
it
and then
both could
tell
change
whoever
for
those
a
are
lot.
two dead ones.
Good people at Integrity Health
I'll find
Advisors
another
are glad to offer you a no-cost, personalized plan review.
Hey, John.
Much better. Yes, sir.
Do people actually sue judges though if they have a problem with the judge?
No, no, never, not once.
Really, but it is
right?
Well, but it's not impossible to sue a judge, right? I'm not saying you would get anywhere, but you can actually sue a judge if you wanted to, right?
I don't know that you can.
Not in the course of his judgmentship.
I mean, there's going to be immunities for that. I mean, the remedy is to have whatever happened overturned.
Yeah,
but
you'd have to
impose
you'd have to
punishment.
find a reason for the appeal. I mean, you can't just go in and say the judge married the defendant and her her husband or whatever. That you got to have more than a hunch.
Yeah, and what are his damages? What I mean, come on. Once again, you're going down a rabbit hole with this.
He just wants to be reheard. He doesn't want to damage. He was, but I don't know what the case is.
Who married what? The judge married cousins that weren't supposed
judge
to be married?
Let's just say officiated. He officiated the defendant's wedding.
Here we go.
Well, who cares?
iHeartRadio, where fans live it.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. So, Drew from New Jersey wants to do something about this judge he feels was unfair. And he said he's basing that on the fact that the judge knows the defendant and actually officiated the defendant's wedding. And I don't mind taking this call from Drew. Again, he goes from lawsuit to lawsuit, but I just need to know what the latest case was where the judge was biased. If he can give me information, I will look into it, okay? Even though he does nothing but insult me every time he calls. We have more coming up on this and other cases right after this.
Your attitude stinks.
What happened? I missed it.
He put a drop in.
Playing those little clips of, or Shannon's playing clips of.
I played this.
Your attitude stinks.
Well, you've got some other good ones. You've got the big girls at Home
big
Depot
minority women.
What about what?
There's a drop that says big minority women.
He was describing
that's a good one.
The clerk at Home Depot that sold him the air conditioning unit that resulted in him nearly dying until he was resuscitated by the local law enforcement. I mean, I get all the good calls. It's time for, I'm surprised I'm not hosting today because normally that's a Drew event for me every time.
Well, he probably listens for you.
Deanna's there. I'll give him a call.
Yana.
Wait, do we have the thing where he called John as stupid as.
I gotta say, I don't know where Dragon keeps the
He's
audio.
even stupider than Mark is.
Yeah, that was the statement. That was
I
awesome.
have my very own Drew clip, okay?
Awesome.
How many guests can say that, you know?
Just you, John.
No.
I don't think he's ever insulted Henry Bretz.
Please copy the November order for Integrity.
Well, my first day hosting in here, he called and I didn't know
Do you
who
want
he
me to
was.
send
I thought it
this
was a serious call.
Integrity
you know?
you to get to Chris so we're on the same page?
Oh my gosh.
John, did you go into that referral list link and pay?
No,
Because I have a charge that you did go in.
I went in. I didn't pay.
You didn't use a credit card.
Hell no.
Okay, well, it charged you.
Well, it didn't charge him,
I don't
apparently.
even use this system anymore. Well, it
Well, no, I mean, I don't know what my credit card gets used for to pay on a monthly basis for iHeart and referral list stuff, but I didn't pay anything on that thing the other day. I backed out and said no, no, no. But I haven't looked at the credit card. I don't really. I can have my person take a look. Okay. Was that some kind of scam or something? Or?
Nope.
We don't know yet.
Yeah. Because I've never paid.
You're
for
the
that
only one.
separate.
That's the fuck of it.
Oh well, that's bullshit. Why am I so special?
I don't know.
But you know, I went through where it was telling me that my password was expiring and all that. I got several of those. Remember, you were going through a phase or something.
Yeah, they upgraded, and let me tell you, it's been a fucking nightmare since they have. An
Yeah.
absolute nightmare.
But I haven't gotten those in a few months. I mean, I don't remember what month that was, but it's been a while. Probably June or July time frame was when those were coming out. Well, let me know, and I can have Joy look at it.
So did you see Netanyahu at the UN
Of
had
course.
a large pin on his chest? On
Yes,
his jacket.
yes, he did.
Did you know what the pin was?
You know,
It was.
fraud, online
QR
porn,
code.
name
Yeah.
Name,
That sent you
name the subject matter of my
October
complaint,
7th.
you know?
Pretty damn cool.
Yeah. Hey, fuck you, Towelhead. Take a look at the movie. There
Well, did you see all the people who basically walked down on him, just like last year?
Which I would have loved if I'd been at a seat with a country adjacent to somebody walking out. I would. Are you? Do you need this? Okay, because F you,
We're heading
Albania.
south for a
I'm
couple
taking your
days.
table.
I was
Yeah.
going to ask you.
I'm drinking your complimentary water and
Heading out
eating your
Friday.
snacks. I'm digging through your
Yeah.
desk,
No.
and I'm cussing
You-
back to your translator. Fucky, 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 fucky.
Better yet, I would be drinking wine.
You guys will have to come down. and
Possibly
stay a weekend
peeing on
with
their
us,
chair while they're going.
Yeah.
love to.
There you
You're
go.
welcome anytime. We have
Just fuck.
plenty of room.
Fuck all the
All
plenty of
those
room.
countries. It's
And
like,
you don't have to. I mean, you can just home base
Whatever,
out of there
dude.
and go travel around and check the area.
And whatever,
Would love
ending
to
up
get
on
down
the
there.
side of social media that
Yeah.
I end up on. Get a lot of people bitching about the Jews, and I'm like, it's the only horse to back over there. What are you even?
All right, we'll
talking
see you
about?
tomorrow.
They kill Christ.
Friday,
Might
John.
give it a couple days.
That's when it's going back. It's Friday.
I'll give you the door code, but I won't be there till Sunday. So make sure you have
I got to
dinner
find
ready.
somewhere to go tomorrow.
I hear you. I don't know any of those countries.
I don't know
how they
but
can
Mark doesn't
stand
really
and
talk
basically
about
be
it.
part of what quote unquote is the
But
UN.
That is all being researched.
It is being researched, but it's handled.
Oh God, yeah.
It would be glorious.
Well,
That's the only one I
that's why Trump is like, why the fuck are we even part of this?
That's the only one
mean,
period you saw a charge go through,
And
right?
why are we?
Yeah, I just didn't know
weird,
it
'cause
when
I
you
didn't-
guys were talking about it until it got funded, and I got an email that it was funded this
Well, you
morning.
know,
And so I'm like,
deal,
what
and I
is that
told you
from?
this the
I
other
never
day.
get funded through that
When I
area.
did
Never.
And
events
so
like
then
When
that's
was that? That was
like
like
that high
Wednesday or Thursday of last week, wasn't
yeah,
it?
it takes 3 or 4 days to
priority.
settle through that system. That's why I'm just seeing them.
Usually it was at the LE. And I always had Plan D.
Oh yeah.
A, B, C, D.
Always a
if
few
anything were to
fires
fail.
when you've been gone a
D
few weeks.
was the written speech. Usually you had monitors, confidence monitors on the stage, so that you could see what's actually on the screens because, nobody wants to be like, okay, well, here. No, you don't do that. So you put a confidence monitor up. And we used to have 3. One of them was always black, just in case the teleprompter didn't work. Then we put the speech on the confidence monitor and be able to. None of that happened.
What the hell are you talking about?
I have
Her
no
life
idea.
again. Hang on.
Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show where we solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life just a little easier if we can. And we have John Fuller with us today from Fuller Law, personal injury attorney, our auto accident expert here on the show as far as injuries and what to do about it. Now, Drew hung up, is that right?
I think his battery might have died.
I really need to explain this seriously because he doesn't let me talk. He always says I'm unchristian, I'm terrible, I'm this, but yet he calls. And here's the thing. One time I thought it was a put on, it was a joke, it wasn't real. Years and years ago, when I was in New York City, WABC in New York City, and syndicated around, this guy came to me with a case. And, on the air. And it was a case against, I honest to God forget what the case was. There were so many. But I highlighted it, and he won that case. And it was something to do with Merrill Lynch, or maybe not, but somebody. Anyway, here's the bottom line. This guy is a professional suer. He sues people all the time. For every time he calls us, he is suing someone, or he is out to get someone, and he wants cash settlements. I swear to God, he almost sounds like a made-up character. For 45 years, he's been calling me. And he insults me and calls me unchristian. That's his favorite thing. I don't have a Christian attitude because I don't always see eye to eye with him. And in fact, the guy has never really worked. I think he is such a pain in the ass that people give him money to make him go away because he does everything pro se. He files lawsuits on his own, handwritten or with an old typewriter, and he files lawsuits. And when you have a lawsuit filed, you have to answer the lawsuit. I mean, John Fuller, attorney at law, even when there's a ridiculous lawsuit, don't you remember the one you read where the guy was suing me because I said he was a waste of skin?
I thought you were talking about Mark there for a second.
Do you remember that guy that he was suing me for the intentional infliction of emotional, whatever, trauma?
It happens.
Right.
Yeah. And when somebody sues you like that, John, if that guy that was suing me for intentional infliction of emotional trauma, he was suing me. What if I ignored it? Is it possible I could have had a cash award against me?
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, that's the downside of it is that, and people like Drew take full advantage of it, is once you file a lawsuit and you properly effectuate service, you've got to answer it or else a default judgment will be entered against you. And then after the default judgment is ordered, they'll then set it for a damages hearing. And I mean, the judge almost has no latitude but to take the uncontested evidence and then, enter a judgment. I mean, it's terrible, but you can't really have it any other way.
Now, I'm going to bring Drew back, but here's what I want to say ahead of time. And I mean this. I don't want any insults. I don't want anything like that. Listen, Drew, your phone calls, if nothing else, are entertaining. And I'll tell you why. You go from one conflict to another. I have lost count of the conflicts in your life, and I'm wondering why. Why do you have so many conflicts? Everything from supermarkets to drugstores to large minority women to just all kinds of. He walked into the tailgate of a car one time and wanted to blame the guy, and then there's just so many lawsuits or threats of lawsuits, and I'm just so flabbergasted by it. And I wanted to ask one question, since you always attack me for not having a Christian attitude. You say I'm a heathen, I'm this, I'm that. You've called me all kinds of names. So I just have a simple question before we continue. Do you have any blessings in your life, Drew, where you have gratitude to the Lord Jesus Christ? You tout yourself as a Christian minister all the time. You work it into every conversation. What I'd like to know is this. Do you have anything to feel gratitude about? Are you happy, or do you have any blessings? Can we start there, Drew?
Tom, 90% of what you just said is not true. How can I respond to falsehoods? I never called you a heathen.
Okay.
That's number one.
Okay, I just threw that name in, but you've called me a lot of names as far as being
I didn't
unchristian.
call you a lot of names. You started
And by the way,
me.
as I remember, you prayed that I would be cursed, and me and Mark. I remember that. Drew, listen, here's what I want to know. Seriously, Drew, shut up, because it's my show. I get to shut up. Shut up. I want to ask you a quick question before we go on. Do you have any blessings in your life?
I never prayed that you be cursed.
Do you have any blessings in your life?
I have blessings from God Almighty.
What are the blessings? What do you have gratitude for today before we go into your next lawsuit? What do you have gratitude for?
First of all, the lawsuits were over a
What
period
do you
of
have
20
gratitude for, Drew, in your life right now? What do you have to be?
question.
What's that?
The lawsuits were over a period of 28 years in New Jersey, where everybody's in court every third year. It's not Colorado.
Drew, what do you have to be thankful for today?
And the lawyer said we can't set aside the judge.
Drew,
The judge
what
is
do you
not
have
in
to be
order.
thankful for today?
See, the Bible says the only thing to be
Drew,
thankful for.
what do you have
is
to
you
be
know and love
thankful?
them.
Drew,
Your
what do you
question-
have to be thankful for today?
I'm trying to answer your question. The Bible says the only thing to be thankful for is that you know and love God. Because this is a fallen world, there's much corruption, and I never called you names. You started attacking me.
True.
But in any case, you can't set aside the verdict.
No, you
There
can't.
is no verdict. There is no verdict. There's no order.
What
The
happened?
judge wrote a forfeit.
Did he dismiss it?
What?
Did the judge dismiss your case?
No, he just wrote a letter, and he took away my disability. I'm crippled. I can't write. I can't type. He took away my 3-year disability for no reason, and things like that.
Well,
so
who was?
appeal
I
the
thought you said this judge officiated the defendant's wedding and ruled in their favor. What case are we talking about? Now you're talking about disability. Was the defendant, you were suing this defendant for what? What is the case?
I reported the defendant for taking 2 salaries for one job, which is what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing. I reported a corrupt person taking 2 salaries for one job.
Okay, so were you suing this person?
No.
Oh, why? Okay, because you called this person a defendant. You said the judge knew the defendant. So
Yeah, she was defending the fact that she was caught stealing money. She was not a defendant I was suing.
okay. So what did the judge do that makes you believe he was biased against you? What did he do?
Without any, we're supposed to have due process and a hearing and notice and fairness. This judge did no hearing, no notice, no witnesses, no evidence. He just wrote a letter. He's taking away my disability. I'm crippled. I can't type.
What kind of disability?
And he also,
Is it SSDI?
I don't know what that means. All I know is
the
That's why he
disability.
just brought- wait. That's why he just brought in. Hold on. Finally, something makes sense here. He just brought in negative things about Elon and Trump. Is that correct, Drew?
No, he didn't. He
Hold
said that's
on.
what they're trying to do. He said they're trying to do away with corruption, and
He said that those two are drawing multiple salaries for the same job,
hold
just
on a
like this
second.
one
Wait,
person did.
Drew.
And then he's saying the judge is conflicted
I don't
because he
understand.
presided over that
To be
person's
honest with
wedding
you,
many years ago.
I don't understand anything the guy's saying. Honest to God.
He's getting his disability taken away, right, Drew? Let's just get to the matter at
But
hand.
what kind of disability?
I don't know.
Drew, what kind of disability?
I can't write, I can't type, I'm crippled.
But what kind of disability were you getting?
I'm trying to explain. The court, under a previous judge, gave me a typist for 4 hours a week to do all my papers.
That poor person. My
Drew.
God.
Drew, I need to know what kind of disability were you on that was taken away? What kind of disability?
I don't know what they call it. It doesn't matter to me. I had a typist. That's all I cared about. Now I can't even set aside the verdict. I have no typist, and the judge did not put it into order form. You ask your lawyer friend.
Who provided you a typist? Who paid the typist?
Our
The courts.
taxes.
The courts or
Our
something.
tax dollars.
Drew?
Pardon?
Drew, listen. I'm serious now. I'm really serious. You may think
know
this
you
does.
always are.
I want to say this, and I'm really trying to appeal to you. Why don't you just live the remainder of your life in gratitude and every breath you take, thank God for being alive, and look for good things instead of always having conflict? Why can't you do that?
Because God says to do the opposite of what you just said. Ephesians 5:11 have nothing to do with the deeds of corruption, but rather expose them.
Drew.
I obey God, not Tom Martino.
Drew.
He's mad because his benefits were taken away. I can at least appreciate that. But, Drew, I don't understand. While you're dancing around and want to sue the judge, maybe do an appeal or whatever the next level is to try to get your benefits back. But you're painting this in a weird picture.
He can't type and he can't write. Drew.
The judge did not put it in order.
Drew, are you telling me it would be unchristian to live the rest of your life in gratitude and thanksgiving for the health that you have and for the sunlight and for all of the things in our life? Do you think you say that's unchristian?
No, I never said that. You just said it.
No, you said not 2 minutes ago that that's not what we're supposed to do as Christians.
I feel like I woke up in
talking about
Oz.
exposing corruption. Donald Trump and Elon Musk are correct in exposing corruption, or whoever does it. They're right. That's good. That's right in the
Drew.
Bible.
But what about you? Don't you think it would be good to just enjoy life? You go from one conflict to another. You're always in conflict, Drew. You're always in
Let me
conflict.
answer your question, because people don't know the true Bible. The only expression of Jesus Christ in the Bible was a man of sorrows. Isaiah 53:3,
Drew.
and he wept.
Drew.
Jesus was not happy.
Drew, I'm just asking you if there's possible that you can just live the rest of your life in some happiness.
I will be happy when Jesus Christ puts his arms around me and tells me everything's all right.
Okay.
This is a fallen world.
Well, okay, Drew.
70,000 children
Drew,
starved
I got to go now. I don't think we can help you. Going after a judge is going to be impossible in your position. And really, Drew, my recommendation to you, even though you call me names and you call me unchristian and you cursed me, by the way, you prayed that I, I don't know if Mark remembers it, but look, Drew, we're done. Come back with your next conflict, and maybe we can give you the same advice.
Yeah, what I never understand about him, this one was very strange, because how he started the conversation, it sounded like he wanted to sue a judge over some marriage that wasn't appropriate or something stupid, but really he lost his benefits. I don't understand why he didn't simply start with that. Then we could get an expert on with Social Security benefits and actually get something done.
I don't think you understand when he was talking about his benefits. He wasn't talking about Social Security or anything like that. He was talking about some benefit helping him file lawsuits. He was talking.
Who would possibly extend a benefit for a typist? I mean, who would pay for that? What bucket does that come out of?
The courts have a system for access. And if you make a case before a judge that you don't have access because of a language barrier or something else, and in his case, he said it was because he couldn't type or write.
Then he started quoting movies.
I don't know.
He's talking about the Soggy Bottom Boys and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
What? Anyway, we wasted enough time with Drew. And what's really interesting is he's been calling me for 45 years. And,
he's getting worse, so I think his brain's starting to break down. Seriously, something's going on with him. He'd been calling, when it comes to my life, I've heard this guy call for almost 15 now, but this year's been really off the rockers for him.
But what's really weird is he never looks around and finds things to be thankful for.
He might not have any, Tom. He might not have one thing to be thankful for. My God, listen to him.
He's in total conflict all the time.
I'll tell you who's celebrating right now, the typist. Whoever had to sit down with Drew for 4 hours a week.
They bribed the judge.
My God, talk about a free pass through the pearly gates. That person has it.
By the way, people are thinking right now, what's going on with the real estate market? Can I sell my house and what will I get for it? And how do I know? You don't want to do a full-blown appraisal, but what you can do is Frank Duran will do an evaluation of your home, and based on his 32, 33 years of experience, he will show you what you can sell that house for based on his selling methods and what you can net. It's a free, no-obligation survey of your home, an evaluation, 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
Yep.
When you get your Redbird Farms chicken from the King Soopers or City Market Butcher Counter, you're getting more than the taste of real chicken. You're supporting local business. Whether you're whipping up a quick meal for one or preparing a feast for the whole family, you're putting local Colorado flavor on the table. Take your pick from hand-selected chicken breasts, wings, and thighs. Redbird Farms chicken, available fresh, frozen, and at the butcher counter at Farms.
Hey, Excel Roofing, who is excellent, as in EXCEL, excelroofing.com, of course, will do any of your roofing needs, including repairs. And they can do full and complete estimates for your insurance and help you get what you need to replace your roof. Now, they're also doing permanent lighting for your home. Now, a lot of people say it's permanent holiday lighting, but it's just permanent lighting that is hidden on the eaves of your home. And you can use the lighting for Christmas, for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, for even
games.
Yeah, for football. Orange, you can have the orange and blue. So here's the deal. They're doing permanent holiday lighting, 303-761-6400. Better quality and lower prices than all of the competition. excelroofing.com now for permanent holiday lighting. It's all the rage, by the way. Excel, E-X-E-L, excelroofing.com. Vestera Turnkey is a method to become a landlord. And I always say this, without the conventional risks and hassles, because they hold your hand through the process from beginning to end. They identify hot properties around the country. They help you buy that property. They help you manage that property. They help you sell that property and everything in between, so you can make extraordinary returns on your investment. Find out more. Vestera, V-E-S-T-E-R-R-A, VesteraTurnkey.com, or call them directly, 303-888-3788.
Thank you.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you stuff on that here in a second.
On Vestera?
No, on
Okay. Whatever.
On Excel.
Oh,
Which
thanks.
is going to be, our lights are going to be orange this week for Taylor Swift's album, just so we know.
Yes, not for the
Being
Broncos,
released,
for Taylor
so our
Swift.
permanent lights are lighting orange all weekend, because that's the color. Then we can do football and.
What is it, 1,000 colors, 1,000... Damn it, now I got to listen to my own shit.
Can't wait to see Pride Month at your place.
It's going to be great.
No shit.
You'll be invited.
Valentine's is going to be
my
like pink
God.
and red.
Did you just turn on the mic to say, oh shit?
No.
No shit?
No.
Did you just turn on the mic to say, oh shit?
Did you dump it? What do we have?
Oh
my
triple dump.
I don't.
Just in case. All good. Let me
I'm
check.
offline.
Hold on.
No, the offline button has nothing to do with the planet.
okay.
It was Mark. He hit on.
Was he okay?
Oh, I might have done
No,
it.
he was on. Let me see. Let me check.
I got caught up in a Taylor moment. And
He was all like, what the fuck is she talking about?
Turn the microphone on for a second. John, good morning. It's Dimitri.
oh, here it comes.
I don't know if you can hear you.
Morning, Dimitri.
Hi. Hey, I just forwarded my new umbrella policy to Mark and Suze and asked one of them to send it to you.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I dumped it, but it was on the air. That's great.
But you definitely dumped it.
Oh, yeah, I triple dumped it.
Thank you.
No shit.
So
You'll never live that one down.
No shit.
So, John, if you feel
It's
like
in
it
his
helps
inbox.
promote your business,
It didn't go
please
out
feel
to
free
you.
to discuss my
get
new
that?
umbrella policy in terms
What
of
did
how
you-
it amplifies my medical coverage in the event of a car crash.
Probably doesn't amplify it at all.
Not at all.
No, that's what I required of
No,
Compass.
here's what he's saying.
You sent that to me or
His-
to them?
Let me explain for him. His umbrella
Oh, here it
through
is.
Compass extends his UIM. That's what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
Right, but not medical.
But
though.
not
No,
regular medical.
MedPay. Yeah, I was told MedPay cannot be amplified, but
No.
this is
How
in
much do you have for MedPay?
the maximum, which is only like 50,000.
20 grand. No, it's like 20, I think.
Yeah, I've seen 50s and 100s.
Have
but-
you really?
Yeah, you don't see them too often.
It's whatever State Farm's maximum is, John. I don't know if that rings a bell with you.
Yeah.
State
It-
Farm.
you know what? It doesn't.
God.
It's not just State
Wait.
Farm. It's kind of like.
I don't think State Farm extends UIM.
No. We're talking
Good morning.
MedPay.
Martino Show.
I got you.
So, John, I waive all rights to privacy in the
So
context of
you-
discussing this policy.
God, I was worried about that, Dimitri. So you've got $2 million of liability, but only an extra $1 million of UM.
That's all they would write me. They wouldn't
Okay.
increase. He said he doesn't know
Well,
anybody
that's
who will write
crazy.
more
Why
than
don't
one.
you get a different carrier?
He told me that's all there is. I mean, in
It's
other
not.
words, he told me nobody else will do it.
He lied.
Well, in I think about 7
By
months.
Compass?
Well, I don't know what Compass can write, but I've got more than that. I mean,
So
by
my
a lot.
You won't
next
want to miss
policy
the
will
next
be with-
episode of Our American Stories.
Hi, right, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. By the way, K&H Home Solutions, also, we talked about companies with heritage. They also have painters now. And I know people look for dependable painters, K&H Painting Pros. So you can get to all of the K&H goods through khwindows.com. John Fuller is with us. We were talking off the air about umbrella policies.
Right.
There's a misunderstanding about umbrella policies and what they do. First and foremost, umbrella policies are what they sound like. It's an umbrella over mostly your liability and what is covered. John, can you explain from attorney's perspective what an umbrella can do to protect people?
Sure. So, we all have a state required minimum amount of coverage for liability, and that means that coverage that's there in case you make a mistake and you cause an accident that hurts somebody else. Then that liability coverage is to protect you from that person making claims against you.
Right.
Now, some people buy extra insurance, and generally you can go up to about $500,000 is about the most of liability coverage that you can buy from your traditional carriers like State Farm and Allstate and all the other ones. But many people like to have more coverage, and they call that coverage an umbrella because it literally just hangs over the top of your existing underlying policy and extends the amount of liability coverage that you have in the event that you cause an accident and hurt somebody else. It doesn't provide any additional benefits to you other than just protection against some other third party. So it doesn't increase the amount of money that your family has available in the event that you're hurt in an accident due to somebody else's fault. All it does is simply act as an umbrella shielding you from claims of some third party. What Dimitri is talking about is that some umbrella carriers also offer the ability to buy a rider or an extra type of coverage that extends not only your liability but also your uninsured motorist coverage to the same or some other dollar amount that you're buying in your umbrella. And what that does is it extends the amount of coverage that's there for you and your family in the event that you get hit or hurt by somebody else, and that person either has no insurance or not enough insurance.
Right. Now, to get umbrella, you can't buy the minimum insurance available and then get an umbrella on top of it. Usually, you have to max out the underlying insurance in order to get an umbrella.
Most of the ones I've seen require at least $250,000 of liability coverage, which is expressed in generally as $250/500, which means $250 per person and up to $500,000 per accident.
Right. But to get the umbrella, the point I was making is a lot of people think, oh, wow, this is a cheap way to buy extra insurance. And they feel like they can buy the minimum underlying insurance and simply have an umbrella cover them. But it doesn't work that way. Umbrellas they absolutely require a certain minimum insurance under them because obviously, So, and each umbrella policy is a little different, but they all require a certain level of underlying coverage. And talking about uninsured, underinsured coverage, I think of all the coverages, it is possibly the most misunderstood coverage of anything, of anything at all. People have no idea what it means. A lot of people think it's going to get their car fixed. A lot of people think it's going to cover their doctor bills. A lot of people think a lot of things. But it's really simple to explain, and we'll do that. Everyone should have it. Uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage protects you, and there's about a 75% chance you will need it because about 75% of the people have either no insurance or the state minimums. And a lot of people think, why do I want to cover underinsured or uninsured? We'll go over the specific times you use that policy, and it's really misunderstood. Trust me when I tell you that. And then we'll ask John about some other texts I'm getting on personal injury right after this.
Yep.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
From the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
Yeah, we do have a delay up north on I-25. Got a crash northbound at 84th Avenue. The right side of the highway is blocked. It looks like we're backed up already to the turnpike. Pretty solid jamming there. Peña's running a little heavy coming out of the airport. Got some slowing on I-70 eastbound right around Peoria and 225. Ahead of that, some construction work out near Colfax does have traffic tied up just a little bit. Foothills Drive's not too bad. A little slowing down Floyd Hill, but no closure currently. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
I'm Ben Ferguson. And I'm Ted Cruz. 3 times a week we do our podcast, Verdict with Ted Cruz.
We're nationwide. We have millions of listeners.
We bring you behind the scenes, inside the White House, the Senate, the Supreme Court.
So download Verdict with Ted Cruz now, wherever you get your podcasts.
You know, I often say when I talk about John Fuller, personal injury attorney, and this next attorney, that you never need them. I hope you never have to see them. Joe Lazaro is a criminal defense attorney. Listen, life is not perfect, and sometimes you will need a defense attorney. If so, Joe Lazaro has passed the test of time. I've known him for 30 years. By the way, I've done the shopping for you. It's never wise to shop when you're under pressure. If you need a defense attorney for any reason, Joe Lazaro will do free consultations always, and then flat rate fees depending on the offense. 303-429-6200, 429-6200, or find Joe Lazaro at referralist.com.
Awesome. Thank you.
How much time do I have?
4.5.
Okay, thank you.
Get out.
Mike is on.
Great, thank you, Tom.
I'll tell you the funniest thing I heard Tom say about a month ago, John.
What's that?
He said, I wasn't on, but I was listening in the car, and he was trying to explain he might be going through a midlife crisis. That puts him...
Tom felt like he was in that midlife stretch
he should
there?
hit 144 years old in...
He's shooting for the stars.
Wow. Then I've got a long way to go. Dimitri, text me your email address or wait a minute, I might have it.
It should be in that email you received.
Yeah, hold on.
We're running back, aren't we? Yes, we are.
Yeah, my med pay is only $25,000. Damn it.
So I'm going to send you here a screenshot of the company that I use, and I wondered if perhaps they were like captive to the carrier that I have. But it says here that they will write policies for any underlying carrier, regardless of its rating, and don't require specific carriers because they offer up to $5 million in limits, and they also offer matching limits to what you buy on the umbrella. You have to buy the same amount, you know.
That'd be awesome. I'll call them right away.
So I've had a policy with them for years now, and I don't think they're all that much compared to the value of that, you know.
Yeah. Do you remember roughly what you pay for that every year?
I think I might be in the $1,500 or $1,600 a year range, and I think I'm at either $3 or $4 million of coverage.
I would snap that up in a moment.
Yeah.
Snap it up.
With the rider.
The umbrella that John has.
Less than $2,000, Dimitri. I could look it up, but I don't remember the exact.
No, that's enough because my rate will probably be different from yours.
Yeah. Number 3 and
but I mean, I don't. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. you hear about all these insurance guys like Brian and them saying, "Oh, nobody offers it," and maybe they don't.
Nobody offers what?
But it's available, and it has been always for me.
Bigger umbrella.
Well, UM riders on umbrella policies specifically.
I thought he was coming in because.
Oh, John, I got your email. Thank you.
You bet.
And I got the insurance company name. That's perfect.
So never offer.
I don't know if those links work because it was a screenshot, but you should be able to find it from there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A bangle or something?
Oh, the kind of their version of a Ryan. Well, I don't know.
You can see my really detailed Google Inquisition query. You know.
Can I have 2 umbrella policies and stack them on top of each other?
I don't know the answer to that. Huh. They're going to fight each other over who's going to be primary. That's for sure.
Hey,
yeah.
Kachina.
Yeah.
Get Brian Burns on if you can.
Okay.
These are good questions.
Yeah. Why keep them to ourselves?
I'm afraid of putting Brian Burns on the spot.
Well, I don't care. I mean, he'll talk about whatever it is. What the fuck? I mean, there's nothing. I mean, it is what it is. There's no putting on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not doing anything illegal.
I understand.
I am.
Yeah, I'm disappointed to see my med pay on my auto policy is only $25,000. Who wouldn't write any more?
Well, really.
33453 sold. Online, gayhasthebuyers.com. Gayhasthebuyers.com.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Okay, so let's say you get into an accident and you have a tremendous pain and suffering claim. What is pain and suffering? That's the first misunderstanding a lot of people have of defining what the hell that is. Because MedPay covers medical payments. The other person's liability, if it's their fault, should cover your medical bills. But even after your medical bills are covered, what is pain and suffering? John Fuller, what exactly is pain and suffering in the insurance world? What is it?
Sure. So the easiest way to think about it is we have 2 categories of damages. We call them economic and non-economic. Economics are easy. They're everything with a dollar sign. So medical bills, lost wages, loss of future earnings capacity, those kind of things. They're easy to calculate because we just add up the dollars. The things that are tough to calculate are those things that don't have dollar signs, and they're quality of life issues. They're your inability to get up and do the things that you enjoy, to spend time with your family doing the things that are important to you.
Maybe even a missed vacation.
Missed vacations, your lack of mobility, your lack of ability to see and touch and feel and love and feel loved and everything else. I mean, those are all components of the intangible or the non-economic factors that go into accidents.
And that is what pain and suffering is.
Yep.
It was nicknamed pain and suffering, but what it's not an economic damage. Now, you have to put a number on pain and suffering. And this is where we can do a scenario. So we get into an accident, it's someone else's fault. We get our medical bills covered, but what if these people have the minimums? What happens, John, first on the medical bills? If they don't have enough to cover my medical bills, what do I do?
Well, I mean, that's the ultimate insult that we have in this state is we have such abysmally low limits that you can run up $25,000 of medical bills in about 10 minutes at any decent hospital.
Right.
And so the reality is, I mean, here's the
well,
really
no.
thing.
But I'm asking first before we go off on that. I want to hear it. But what do we have to cover ourselves if someone's liability is not enough to cover our medical bills?
Yeah, you have your own checkbook. That's what you have.
That's right. Or health insurance.
Or, well, health insurance, yeah. But it's the ultimate responsibility for all of your bills falls back on you. And so that's why we have to buy this extra insurance, is to have coverage for what the other guy doesn't have.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. What coverage can we buy? And I'll ask Brian Burns from what coverage can we buy specifically when the other party cannot cover our medical bills? I'm talking. Go ahead.
I'm with you. It starts with medical payments coverage, and that really is something that we're going to use at the beginning of the case. But ultimately, it's uninsured motorist coverage. That's what we buy to protect ourselves from all of the categories of damages that the other guy may not have enough insurance to cover.
So underinsured and uninsured will pay medical bills.
Yeah, you bet.
Brian, that pays medical bills when somebody falls short?
Hey, Tom. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. When I've asked in the past, what is it? They would tell me it is they put you sue. It's like suing your own company. You get an award from your own company for the inability of the other party at fault to come through. Right. So if the other party at fault cannot make you whole, then your underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage will make you whole.
Right. Yeah, good. Yeah. Like for pain and suffering and for loss of wages, and then if there is medical expenses, sure, they can go there.
Okay. So how often is it used for just medical bills and not the other pain and suffering?
So, Tom, let me jump in here. And I think that the mistake that you're making here is that the application of has to be allocated to specific bills, and it's not. It's allocated to an entire basket of damages.
Right.
One component of which may be your medical bills, but it may also be everything else.
Right. That's the point I'm trying to make and I want to make this clear, John, because I get the calls all the time. And here's what it is. Okay. The other party can't pay their medical bills. They get a bill from the hospital. They submit it to their underinsured and uninsured policy, and they say, we're not covering this bill because we're not MedPay. Okay.
Why would they say that?
Well, because they settle for an uninsured motorist amount. I mean,
okay. So, I think the flaw here, Tom, is that we don't just submit bills to the carrier and say, here, pay this. That's not really the way it works. Right. Okay.
That's right.
So it's not a health insurance policy. It's not something that they give you a card to take to the hospital.
Right.
It's a policy that you buy that at the end of the day, that's really the biggest thing, is that we don't ever just send bills to an insurance company along the way. We wait until the end of the case, and we have one resolution of your damages with the liability company and one resolution with the company. And it's for all of the damages that are still on the table.
Right.
If liability paid a portion of those, they get an offset for that. But then it's everything else. And so we would never just pay a medical bill or submit a medical bill. We would submit all the medical bills
and all of the pain and suffering claims.
These are all of my damages. Now pay me hopefully all of my coverage, and then I'll figure out how to allocate that among the different categories of damages that remain.
And that brings me to my next point, which you've answered, but a lot of people, this is what I hear from them when I talk to them about underinsured or uninsured motorist coverage. They say something like this, and I've heard it. Why would I buy insurance for the other person? Why would I ever do that? It's not my fault they don't have enough insurance. Why should I pay for that? And that's probably, and Brian, when people shop for insurance, I'll bet you they say things like that. Like, why would I pay for someone uninsured? That's not my responsibility. And
which is just so counterintuitive because you're covering yourself against people that are uninsured.
That's really exactly right. So at what point then do medical bills go from your MedPay or from their liability to your coverage?
When their coverage is exhausted.
Okay. So this coverage...
Tom, if you want to know my answer to that question, you just said, why would you buy it? Because you can. It's the cheapest thing you can buy to protect yourself.
Right.
I mean, for the amount of money that I spend for my uninsured motorist umbrella rider, I mean, it's a couple grand a year. I mean, what the heck can you buy for $2,000 a year in terms of medical expenses and stuff? I mean, in my business, I routinely see people that have, a CAT scan at the ER for $10,000. Well, for 20% of that, I can cover $4 million of damages. How in the world can there be a better deal than that?
No, I totally agree. I think MedPay and coverage are two of some of the most important coverages you can have. I want to talk about that coming up because somebody wanted to know about MedPay and when to use MedPay. And I know that Mark said there were certain parts of MedPay that people were trying to cash in on. And I forget what the exact terms of the case were, but he said that you helped him with strategy when it comes to MedPay. I hope that rings familiar. I have to take this break and we'll talk about it coming back.
Yep.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Yeah, we do have a delay up north on I-25. Got a crash northbound at 84th Avenue. The right side of the highway is blocked. It looks like we're backed up already to the turnpike. Pretty solid jamming there. Pena's running a little heavy coming out of the airport. Got some slowing on I-70 eastbound right around Peoria and 225. Ahead of that, some construction work out near Colfax does have traffic tied up just a little bit. Foothills Drive's not too bad. A little slowing down Floyd Hill, but no closure currently. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll share the true story of one of the first men to set foot in America, Captain John Smith. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Hey, you know, so many people call this show after buying a used car and they've been totally ripped off. That's why we love talking about Sheridan Auto Tech and their pre-buy inspection for used cars. Yes, they do regular inspection and maintenance and repairs for you, including electrical repairs, and they're great, honest, value-minded people, but they also do pre-buy inspections on used cars. So if it has to do with your car, think Sheridan Auto Tech. They're on Colfax west of Wadsworth. They have a great facility, lighting, parking, convenience, value. 303-455-7242. 455-7242. K&H Home Solutions is a company you can trust. They've been around for 65 years through 3 owners who have carried on the tradition of energy-saving products and beautiful products that beautify your home, increase the value, and make it more energy efficient. And of course, they also have a beautiful new showroom I'd like to tell you about. What you need to do is go to khwindows.com to find out more. And in Arvada, they have a beautiful showroom that highlights all of their great products. That's 303-421-7100. Vestera Turnkey, you've heard me talk about it. A lot of people think, what is it? Am I pooled with a lot of people? Do we buy houses together? No. Vestera Turnkey helps you become a landlord in a house that you buy in a market that they have researched thoroughly. They help you buy the house. They help you with management of the house. They even help you with day-to-day phone calls if you ever get any, and ultimately to sell the house for incredible returns. That's what they do at Vestera Turnkey. So why don't you give them a call and ask them how you can become a landlord and make great money. 303-888-3788. 888-3788.
But the moment somebody, and all we did was put them on notice.
I'm happy to match yours. A lot of times they do, they just match each other. They are happy to. But
like he had, I remember now, he had USAA, which I have. And USAA will send the member a letter every time we touch the file at all. They send out like, received a phone call today. They send a letter to the insured. So they're
try to scare them.
They're like, whoa, I got to, I see a check was issued today. What the heck is going on?
That would piss me off.
Set that as default.
It would piss me off getting. I'd be pissed off at my insurance.
Love you, bye.
For sending you those letters, or
constantly, yeah.
Yeah, well, most people. Think
I don't remember that at all.
Come on, princess.
You never had USAA, though.
No, of course not.
Hello.
But you have to be a service member or some shit.
Yeah, or the
Mary.
direct relative of
I can hear you. Come on.
Usually
he's on at the top.
I love how their whole selling is that, and then I hear they're a bitch to deal with on the homeowners side.
They're really great if you're the policy
But I can keep fussing with it in traffic.
First party claim. I mean, I have them. They suck to. I don't enjoy going against them because they'll get shady. But I have to say, when they're on your side, they
he just told me I got to go back on in 15 seconds. Okay. Love you. Bye.
I'll never admit I said that.
Okay. Oh, can you? And he's been replying that way?
No, but I can text him right now.
Okay. We don't have anybody in the basement that's here today, right?
Just the people we keep locked up there.
I love you, Tom. Not talking to you. I'm talking to Dave Tepper. Thank you.
I can't wait for our Christmas lights to be done. They were shitting bricks. So Excel told me it'd be one day. They were out when they come out Friday. Start bright and early, 3 of them.
Yeah, it's going to be a minute.
They weren't even, dude, they didn't even get 20% done. We've got so many eaves and triangles. They're like, this is going to be the most complicated one we've done.
Are you leaving them up year-round?
They're permanent. They literally paint the rails to match the exact house. You do not see these fucking lights until you turn them on. They're incredible. I can't wait.
Pilots can't figure out whether it's your house or the airport.
Or until the wheels touch down on your roof.
We just had some lights put in. We built a pool cage and had external lights put around a bunch of the trees and stuff.
That'd be cool. Yeah, they're not cheap, but man, they're permanent, and you never have to get up on that ladder again.
Our poor
Not
kids.
that I did.
Well,
I like it for football games.
The whole time we
should have
grew
been in
up,
here
we had
for.
wood stoves and no air conditioning. And then when we
I know,
moved
no,
out
dude,
within
that
2
is so-
years,
Jasper.
Hi, Tom Martino. I want to talk to Brian Burns at Compass Insurance and wrap up something. By the way, they're the home of the free insurance checkup as well. If you want to know if you have enough coverage and what it covers and if you're paying too much, 303-996-9000. Brian, we know that we've just heard that uninsured motorist coverage or underinsured, it's both it's UM, which is underinsured or uninsured, covers you for all your pain and suffering and unpaid medical bills and other damages, but not for your car.
Right.
So is there an uninsured motorist coverage we can buy that would cover our car? Now, I know if you have the car financed or if you have a newer car, you have collision coverage, and that, in essence, covers your car no matter what. But what about those who don't want collision coverage, but they want to be able, they figure if it's their fault, it's their fault, but if it's not their fault, they want to be able to get paid for their car?
Yeah, and that would be uninsured motorist property damage. So it's only available for vehicles that don't have collision. So you said that exactly right. If they have collision, they're covered either way. But if you have liability only on your car, you don't have collision or comprehensive, but you want some kind of coverage.
Well, you could.
For
you just
an
have
uninsured
liability.
motorist.
Okay. Now,
if you have high liability limits, but just liability, you could have an umbrella for that.
Is that John talking on the air? I mean, John, somehow we had some double talk there. Let's talk about the uninsured, underinsured rider for your umbrella policy.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to talk about that coming back because I hear the music. So, Brian, Compass Insurance Group, if you could hang on for that, we'll talk about how to get coverage for underinsured under your umbrella policy. Then I want to talk about what underlying limits you need to even get an umbrella. All of that coming up.
Sometimes you that have multiple.
So what is the microphone? Tell me why I heard John talking over
like an old truck they use just for around the farm or something.
Brian when Brian was on the air.
Have an umbrella over the
John
whole policy.
explaining that right now?
He thought he was off air, Tom. That's all.
Okay.
He wasn't trying to talk over him. I asked him a question. He thought I asked him a question on air.
Yeah, but the whole time Brian was talking, we had a problem with the mics on.
No, that's what I'm saying. John,
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
Basically, blame Shannon.
I will so enjoy killing all of you. I want you to know.
Shut up, both of you.
Sorry.
My name is Kelly.
So he's got that thing. I'm going to wander in there right now with you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. All right, hang. Uh-huh.
Imelda. Tropical storm
For hanging on. Just be
Imelda.
patient with me. All right, hang on.
As long as they keep going the track they're going, I'm good with them.
Yeah,
hey,
that
Mark,
thing
what
is
was that spot you need for the morning?
I
thought I had it right here somewhere. Where you?
I sent you that Excel. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, got it.
There's your bullet point. So I need a 30, and then I sent you another one. Oh, Integra. I need by noon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's
I figured you'd do them today anyhow.
Yeah.
Look at those bullet points on the lights, man.
Got it.
You deaf there, Shannon?
I got one that'll start rotation tomorrow, I think.
Uh-oh, what did we break? What'd you break, Kelly?
Lots of things.
Knew it.
I think they're going to kill on these lights. I really do. They're at least a third less than Jelly and the other brands.
I would be surprised if you didn't.
And I like how they paint to match the house.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I de-wrenched Bo and Chop. They wanted to be de-wrenched.
De-wrench them.
They've been de-wrenched.
What does that mean?
Oh, I don't even know what the fuck how you get it, let alone have it.
Keep putting people in timeout. They like.
You just got to
don't know
be
how use
Troubleshooter Network. You can pull it or keep it.
I already went and pulled theirs.
Does a wrench mean you're a moderator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I see.
But like, he says it's on
Florida
accident, and it
turned on
probably
his
is. But who always accidentally blocks somebody? Chopper.
Yeah, like he accidentally blocked somebody saying "Welcome back" to
Yeah.
me and you
But in
today.
his
So it's
defense,
like, okay,
he
I
did
get
say
it.
he was on offline.
I love Chop. He's a great guy. You're a great guy, Chop.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Correct.
A little sketchy, but good guy.
He's still turned on.
And then Bo, he requested himself to be de-wrenched.
De-wrench them.
He's been de-wrenched.
It's the first time I've ever heard that term.
I think I made it up.
It's
So
a nice one.
you weren't
De-wrenched.
here
De-wrenched.
It'll be
live
in the
through
new
the
words of the
wonderful
dictionary next year.
You know why they're wrenched? Because they're
shit
tools.
Ryan and I had
So,
to
Mark,
do.
it's November 5th. The one we're talking about now is the first one, right? The first open enrollment. Yeah, right.
For
Got it.
Medicare only.
Medicare only, right? Got it.
Medicare open enrollment. A lot of changes this year. A lot of changes. There's plans where you can get grocery money. That's a good tagline I've heard on other people's spots. People like that grocery money.
Do you have bullet points for the new changes?
No, but I can get them from John. If you want, I'll send them to you later.
Well, I need them really quickly because I go to radiation right after the show.
Hold on. Let me reach out right now.
So I'm sitting there trying to mop everything up.
Actually, hold on. I might. I think he sent me an email this morning. Hold on.
Trying to save the station.
No, I thought he did though. I don't see it.
Shit.
What?
Nothing. I just have all these people contacting me about problems that Doc was handling. They just don't have any kind of idea where they're going.
Forward all those to Fuller.
What?
Just send him to Fuller. He'd make a great deputy for it.
Okay.
The way he handles Drew is like it's like a surgeon.
He said I was stupider than you, or as stupid as you.
I know, stupider.
Your attorney friend stupider than you are.
I think that's right. What he said. Stupider.
Stupider than you are, Mark.
Dragon, do you have where Drew called John stupider than me?
Somewhere. Hang on.
We got to hear it. It's so fun.
Oh, did you keep shit from
Oh,
Drew's
Tom,
call?
you got to hear this one.
Absolutely.
This is, I think, when you weren't feeling good.
Mark, your attorney there is stupider than you.
Oh, I remember that. Somehow I remember that. Somebody
Your
brought it
lawyer
up.
friend seems as stupid as you are, Mark.
As me.
Stupid as you.
Your lawyer friend seems as stupid as you are, Mark.
I think stupider.
Not stupider.
As
Not
stupid.
almost as stupid, but
Stupider.
as stupid.
As stupid.
No, but seriously, how does this guy go through? I mean, honest to God.
And then, there's so many different examples. The recent ones where he had the two girls that wanted to
jump his bones
jump
at
his
Home
bones
Depot.
in the Home Depot as he was peeing on the
grocery
tree
store.
or something.
Yeah.
Yes, you have a right to be stupid. Nobody can stop you from being stupid.
That was to Tom.
You have a right to be stupid.
That one was Tom.
You son of a bitch.
See, but he always emails me afterward and says, I apologize for
can't
that.
go
I
number
thought you
two
were Tom.
anymore.
Can't go number 2 anymore.
There it is.
She was a big minority woman.
A big minority woman.
Those are the best.
Who should we ask for at Home Depot?
She was a big minority woman.
That's the way Dragon likes them.
Yeah, my name's Chopper. I'm calling from the Troubleshooter Show. Do you possibly have a big minority woman that works up
We're
front?
trying to find somebody, and we're not exactly sure what her name is. I was hoping I could describe her a little bit for you and see if we could narrow her down just a little bit. She was a
Big minority woman.
She was a woman of girth and
Pineapple shape.
and
Pineapple.
I think a minority woman. Let's just call it how it is here. You know, she's a big old girl and
Pineapple shape.
A big old girl.
Roy D. Mercer, Mark. Remember that? How big a boy are you?
How big a boy are you?
I'll go down there and kick your ass.
He was great on the radio.
How'd you like an ass whooping today?
Him and the Jersey Boys.
We'll have to go back
Or
and listen to
Jerky
some
Boys.
Roy D. Mercer, Mark. Those were always funny when we were kids.
Oh, those are classic.
Difficult. Use the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app. Just tap, record, and send, all within the app.
Get out there and be heard.
To Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. We are fighting for you, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier. And we have John Fuller with us as our guest today from John Fuller from Fuller Law, and he does personal injury law. Specifically, he specializes in auto accidents and has been our expert here for years. We also have, for a couple topics, we went into the insurance realm, and I asked Brian Burns to come on as well. Brian is from Compass Insurance Group, and they do free insurance checkups for the asking, 303-996-9000 when they're not here. And I would say 85% of the time when people call Compass, they end up saving money. Not all the time, but Compass will tell you, hey, we can't save you. You have a great deal. And isn't that nice to know, right? So anyway, we've been talking about insurance. And there, basically every now and then it's good for my listening audience and for us to edify us and to really clarify what insurance is all about. I want to be very basic. First of all, we all have to have liability coverage. That covers the other person when it's our fault. It covers the other party when it's our fault.
And 20% plus in the state of Colorado don't even have that.
Mark, it's 20, I believe, wait a minute. I believe, like 25%.
And then another around 45% have the state minimal.
Yeah, and the minimum in coverage is next to nothing. So liability covers the other party. Then we have something called collision coverage, and that's no matter what, our car is covered no matter whose fault it is. Then we have something called uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. And that covers basically our bills when the other party is either uninsured or underinsured. And that makes up 75% of the motorists. 75% are either underinsured or uninsured. So coverage is very important. Then
now, wait, just real quick, and Brian or John can talk to this. Ironically, in the state of Colorado, it's mandatory to have that. But the problem
mandatory to have what, Mark?
It's liability. No,
right.
no. It's. I thought it was mandatory to have. Hold on a second. MedPay.
Yeah, it's a mandatory coverage, but it can be waived, which makes no sense.
Which is crazy. So it's not really mandatory.
It's not really all that mandatory.
Yeah, and we didn't get to MedPay, but MedPay basically, if you had to sum it up, MedPay pays for your own medical bills or your passengers, regardless of fault. Is that right, people?
Yep.
Okay.
Does that cover you? Like you have MedPay on your insurance, I'm sure, John. And if you're in my car, does your own MedPay kick in or no?
It will, but it comes in second.
Got it.
Okay, so on MedPay, I remember when Mark was in an accident, there was some tricky stuff going on with MedPay.
No. Let me explain what happened. So these hospitals, and I'm sure John will attest to this, let me tell you, they want to be first in line and get that MedPay money. So never give them the information. That's the best way I can put it. And it's a hard lesson to learn, but you much rather have that cash and have a good attorney like John figure out where to dish out that money. Because the hospital, these damn ERs, Tom, they will inflate your bills so high. When Addie was in her accident, I think an MRI and what's the other scan? Not a CAT.
CT.
A CT?
Yeah, CAT scan.
Whatever it was. These two scans were like $40,000 to give you an idea. So they want to apply whatever your MedPay is onto that instantly. That's ridiculous because a good attorney like John at the very end, after he gets all the big money from the other insurance company, he'll go back to that hospital and go, this is absurd. This isn't 40 grand. These should be about $7,000 max. And then he got all those bills brought down. And if they apply it initially to those big bills, you basically wasted your money. Is that a good way to put it, John?
Well, yeah, it's a flaw in the system that allows, if you think about your health insurance, if a bill gets sent to the health insurance, they have a contract that allows them to reprice things down to a pre-agreed upon price. And maybe for an MRI, it is, $600 or $800. So they can bill $5,000 or $10,000 for that MRI, but at the end of the day, the health insurance already knows they're only going to pay $600 or $800. So the flaw in MedPay is that because they don't have a contract with those medical providers, when they get a bill for that $10,000, if they have that much coverage, they just simply pay the $10,000. And that's not how the legislature ever really intended for that to work out, but that's how it happens in the real world.
Okay, I have a silly question, and it is a silly question. But if MedPay is paying it, and I have other insurance, or I'm going after the other party, why do I care if they pay $10,000 for a scan or if they pay $2,000 for a scan? Why do I care?
Because if John collected $40,000 for me, because that was the original ER bill for Addie, he collected $40,000 from the at-fault driver. He then negotiated it down to say $10,000. That put $30,000 into my pocket.
Okay.
So, that's absolutely true, but here's the way I look at it. I paid for $10,000 worth of value. I didn't pay for only $2,500 worth of value when, because an insurance company or because a hospital pot-shotted the MedPay and got all of my dollars. So you're being victimized when they do that because you bought a lot more value than you're receiving.
Okay. And on MedPay, though.
All the time, Tom.
What's that, Brian?
That happens all the time. The hospitals will take that money, or I've seen ambulances try to get in line to get it first, and they'll go straight and get that med
because
pay.
they can bill whatever they want. They're thieves.
Right.
I mean, honest
Yeah,
to God, I've never seen an industry
So let me
like
get this
a
straight.
hospital.
I want to make this clear for people. So once your med pay paid the bill, you have lost your ability to negotiate it down.
Well, yeah, it's not outstanding anymore.
Right.
But we do have the ability to force these hospitals and stuff to actually run their bills through health insurance and I mean, there are things that we can do. They're not really things that a consumer can do on their own unless you really understand the laws and the intricacies of this stuff. But and it can also be applied to your out-of-pocket maximums and copays. So you really got to know how to navigate this area. And even though we don't make a dime on anything to do with MedPay, it's a huge part of what we do and what we bring to the table on a complex accident.
Okay, the negotiations, literally, I want people to understand this. So the negotiations Fuller had with the hospital, the chiropractor, the ER, the ambulance company were what made us have some actual money in our pocket. All that money would have went to all those entities if John wasn't involved.
So what you're saying is you collect on the actual damages and negotiate the actual payment.
Yeah, and then you keep the rest. What's really strange about it is the fact you negotiate the bills down that you're allowed to keep the overage, which is like crazy because in a homeowner's claim, if I only paid out, $10,000 on a roof and they gave me 30, they're going to come looking for that 20. It's a little weird.
It's not as crazy as you think when you really look at the nuts and bolts of it. You bought that coverage. You spent your money up front way before that accident ever happened to have protection in place in the event of a need, right? We're not going to let the at-fault driver benefit and have less damages because you paid all this money out over the years to have adequate protection in place. So it's not that hard to figure out. We just don't give that guy credit for what you did.
Now, in talking about coverages, we also have to talk about umbrellas. And umbrellas are confusing as well. Umbrellas cover you when it's your fault, right? They cover you when it's your fault. So if you don't have enough liability and you're being sued, your umbrella coverage kicks in. But some may argue, John, and maybe Brian, you can answer this, that if you have an umbrella, you just made yourself more of a target for a lawsuit. Yes or no? John?
I don't think so because your damages are your damages. What you did was make it more likely that you can get covered in this event for what you caused.
Okay.
Yeah, or else they'd go, well, hold on.
I mean, let's put it differently. Your liability is not limited to the amount of insurance that you have, Tom. If you go out and do $50,000 of damage and you only have $25,000 of coverage, guess what? You still did $50,000 of damage. There's nothing in the law that says you get off for just the amount of insurance that you have.
And that's where we come to the concept that you insure for your net worth. Because
I agree.
Because you need to protect yourself. So if you're worth $10 million and you think you're saving money by having minimums, they're going to look at you and say, we're suing you, you jerk. We're not going to take your minimums. So the more of a target you are, the more insurance you need. So an umbrella policy comes in when you want to cover your ass to keep yourself from being personally liable. You want insurance to pay the damages. So, Brian, in that regard, if you have a workaday person making good money, they make 60, 70 grand a year, and they're like wanting to buy a $10 million umbrella, wouldn't you discourage that?
Well, I think underwriting would discourage it from the start. You have to qualify when you start getting limits above $5 million. That underwriting wants to understand if
they want to know if you got $5 million.
Yeah, they want to know that there's a need behind it. So it's abnormal to get more than $5 million. That's what a standard carrier would get. And if you need more, there's carriers that do it. But it's abnormal. But yeah, I think in general, when I'm talking to people, if they have no money, I understand why they aren't real interested in getting an umbrella. If they have no assets, they're not worried about lawsuits. But I would say the vast majority, the other piece to that whole thing is that umbrellas are incredibly inexpensive. You're talking about, $300 a year for $1 million liability policy.
Brian, I agree with you there, but I want to throw a little monkey wrench in there. We just had this conversation with both of our kids. In order to have that umbrella, which in their case, I bought them for them. You know that. I literally bought each of my kids an umbrella in the past month. They were only like $400 for $1 million additional in coverage. But out of their own pockets, they had to have that $250, $500 minimum on their car insurance, which does cost more.
Yeah, Mark, that umbrella, that $1 million umbrella, may have been a bit premature for.
No, because if they get injured, I can't beat this through people's heads enough. If someone injures my daughter, okay, and she can't work for 2 or 3 years,
Mark,
or my son can't work, the only coverage they have for themselves is that freaking umbrella.
Only
Mark,
if you have the UM rider.
Whoa.
We do have the UM rider.
But hold on, guys.
But you mean UM.
Guys, hold on. I think we're confusing people, and I can tell by the text I'm getting. When we talk about umbrella, we were talking about liability to others. Mark just talked about an umbrella for UM, which is totally different. If you buy a regular,
Brian, what do I have? What umbrella do we
Mark,
have? Mark,
will you wait 1 sec? Please wait 1 second. The normal umbrella does not carry UM coverage unless you specify it, and that's the one that you bought, Mark. That's what I want to make a distinction of. People think, well, I don't need an umbrella, but if they have, like you said, Mark,
you're saying there's some kind of rider on the umbrella.
Exactly, and I wanted people to know that because
correct?
A lot of people don't understand that they need a special rider. That's the only point. Brian, explain that, please, because people might buy an umbrella thinking they're covered for themselves, and they're not.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a rider, and I would say the majority of carriers don't even offer it. So your prototypical carriers like an Allstate, or I don't even think State Farm, or a lot of them don't even offer an endorsement to put excess uninsured motorists. And that's what it's called, excess uninsured motorists, that you can put on an umbrella policy. The one that I got, Mark, is a carrier that does offer it. And of course, we added it on there. But yeah, that's what he's referring to. There are companies that allow you to add on excess uninsured motorists.
And that is really important for young people that have great jobs. If they're knocked out of, as Mark said, if his daughter or son are marked out of the labor market for any period of time, they're going to eat that up. And that's exactly what it's for. So people, when you buy an umbrella coverage, it is to protect your net worth if it's your fault and somebody else you're responsible to. But the rider is really important for you. So if you don't have enough uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage, the umbrella for that kicks in, but only.
Let me just ask Brian something outright. On those two policies I just bought, you're saying if I just bought them without the rider, those policies, they wouldn't cover that. How about the one you sell me every year under mine? Because when I renew it and we send a check in, I don't see anything like I've got to check a box in order to do this or that, Brian.
You do. It's actually, it's automatically renewing in the same way that we originally wrote it, but there is a box on that renewal that states on excess uninsured motorists.
I got it. Thank you.
Right. So, but it's not automatic. If you go out to a carrier, maybe with Compass, they would explain it to you, but we can't depend on other brokers to explain it.
And I know like State Farm, I don't know about Allstate, but I know for sure.
Break time, buddy.
Farms umbrella does not cover UM.
All right. By the way, I'm way over time, but we're going to take this break. We have more coming right up.
Look, your body's unique, so why settle for a one-size-fits-all wellness plan? That's where Viome comes in. Viome uses advanced science to analyze your gut biome with a simple at-home test, so you know exactly what foods and supplements are right for you, all based on real data from your own body. And you know what? That's science you can trust. Go to Viome.com now and use promo code THRIVE to save $50 on your full body intelligence test. That's Viome.com, promo code THRIVE to save $50.
You know, when you're looking for a bath, what about discount bath? I love those words. You don't normally see them together because bathrooms can be expensive. But Discount Bath wants you to know that they truly believe in discounting the job. That's right. Less profit, more discount for you. And they want you to put them to the test. They'll even give you pricing without coming to your home. So go and take your cell phone and you video what you want done. And then you upload it to discountbath.com and they'll send you a price without ever coming to your home. Now, of course, they'll come and visit you if you want, or they'll talk to you on the phone about the bid. Give them a call, 720-979-2322, 720-979-2322, or just go to discountbath.com to upload video. You'll get a link at discountbath.com. Joe Lazzara, he's an attorney that is a criminal defense attorney that I hope truly you never need. Now, here's what I do recommend. Put his name down. You may have to recommend him to somebody. One of your friends might call. You might have a kid that gets in trouble, a niece or a nephew, and they have a DUI or something. If you need a criminal defense attorney, the last thing you need is to shop when you're under pressure, under the gun to find someone. Lazzara, Lazzara, LazzaraLegal.com, 303-429-6200. I've known him for 30 years. You can depend on him. Flat rate pricing and free initial consultations. 303-429-6200.
Not that it doesn't happen, but what are the chances?
Yeah.
An actuarial will paint that picture. When's the last time on a case you dug into an umbrella?
Last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you find? Do you have to do it basically through discovery to figure out if they have that coverage?
Sometimes. If you're in litigation, they have to tell you if the coverage exists.
Got it.
When we're not into litigation, we make them sign affidavits and we do our due diligence and stuff, and they'll eventually have to tell you, but it doesn't happen automatically. We eventually find out because we ask and we dig and dig and dig.
And it ain't worth lying about.
Yeah, but their hope is that they could swoop in, offer you limits, and you just go away. But you can kind of tell though too, like if somebody has 250, decent chance they have 250 because that affords them the opportunity to buy an umbrella.
I would guess so.
You know? So not always, but
what's interesting
50% of the time at least.
What's interesting about ours is, generally if people have State Farm, they have the State Farm umbrella, where none of ours tie back into the primary carrier.
The hard thing to get your mind wrapped around is that if you did enough damage for somebody to get into that umbrella, you want that umbrella to pay them the hell out.
Yeah.
And quickly. We give insurance companies the opportunity to pay limits, and for the most part, the guy who owns that policy should be right there with you, saying, "Y'all better pay that. Better pay that to get me the heck out of this deal."
Yeah.
That's the mind change.
When they start defending you in court because of an action, for whatever reason, the insurance company doesn't want to pay limits, it ends up going to court. Does that money start dwindling down from the fees for the attorneys, or it's a totally separate bucket?
For most consumer policies, no. The defense is outside the policy limits.
Okay.
In many commercial policies and most umbrellas, the defense is within the policy.
Got it.
So it will diminish the available money.
Wow. So John, they can decide to use your coverage to fight that they pay less coverage.
Yes.
On the umbrella.
Wow.
Yeah, if the defense is within the coverage, yes.
Most of them too. If you actually end up litigating, generally does that attorney in this state at least work for the company, or are they brought in? Do they get a paycheck from State Farm?
So many of them do.
Okay.
The ethical rules are very clear that they represent their client, which is the other driver. But it's an obvious conflict.
So John, if the insurance company, if you have a $5 million umbrella and they fight the shit out of paying, and then they end up having to pay a high award. And now that money is not in the umbrella because of their defense, or not all of it's in there. Are you on the hook?
You meaning the guy that caused the accident?
No, the insured. If I'm insured and my umbrella carrier decides to fight it and they lose and there's not enough in the umbrella to cover the judgment, what happens?
So most of the time...
Advisors, TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Brian Burns, I'm going to let you go. I just wanted to ask one question I got a text about here. And they want to know, as far as umbrella coverages go, if you have an umbrella policy, when do you invoke it? It has to be when your underlying policy is exhausted, right?
That's right. Yeah. And if there's a large loss, usually, not always, usually the umbrella policy is with the same carrier that has the underlying policy, so they're aware. But if there's a large loss and they're with two different carriers, you need to notify them of the loss just so they can be involved. But they really won't jump in until they know those limits are exhausted.
And what limits are required to get an umbrella? Do they differ according to the umbrella, or do they all specify the maximum amount?
It differs between carriers. So most carriers in the industry would require $250,000 per person, $500,000 per accident, with $100,000 for property damage liability. That's the normal underlying requirement. There's some that require $500 per person, $500 per accident, and then the $100,000. It just depends.
Yeah, I got a question for you too on this. Let's say something like my daughter, who's got her main insurance through Safeco or whoever it is, then the umbrella is through a different one. If she somehow renewed her Safeco and actually did it at, let's say, a $100,000 limit instead of that $250,000, what happens to that gap? Does she have to come out of two questions? One, does it create a gap or does it void the umbrella? Two, if it does create a gap, my understanding would be she'd have to come out of pocket for $150,000 in that scenario. Then the umbrella would take over.
That's right. It would not void the umbrella. The umbrella would still have to step in, but only after that $250,000 limit was achieved. So in essence, it becomes a retained limit, or a deductible, if you will, is what you've done to yourself by having that gap.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
That'd be a hell of a deductible.
Yeah, it'd be a big one.
And so, Brian, to make things simple, you insure for what people can take from you.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, exactly, because that statement would encompass both your physical assets that you might have and, like loss of wages. If you have a good paying job, even if you don't have a ton of assets, they can come after your wages if you are found responsible in the events of an accident. So you just want to make sure you're protecting yourself well. I think off today's standards, I mean, we tell people it's very hard to find a case that you should have less than $250,000 per person, $500,000 per accident, as far as on your bodily injury liability, just because it can get there so quickly.
Right. Okay, Brian Burns, thank you. Compass Insurance, 303-996-9000. As I said, free insurance checkups, 303-996-9000. John Fuller, as far as litigation goes, have you heard of the strategy called equity stripping? Obviously, it has to be done before you're the target of a lawsuit, but can you fight it once you have a defendant who has done this? Equity stripping, somebody texted it to me and I looked it up. It's a legal asset protection strategy that reduces the value of your assets.
Like in a revocable trust?
No, listen to this, Mark. It's the first time I ever heard of it. You create or use an LLC entity like a family partnership, or it can be a trust, but you control it. And that entity issues a loan to you secured by the house. And on paper, it shows that there's no equity in the house. The recorded lien shows the property as heavily leveraged, even if the loan proceeds were placed in a protected account or trust that you control. So you literally take an amount of money, like $500,000, and you put it into a trust, or $100,000 or $50,000, and the house secures that amount. Have you ever heard of that, John?
Well, I have not heard that term before, but I understand the concept, and we've been calling that essentially fraudulent transfers for years and years. And
no, really, I know that, but people, if they do it, go ahead.
The point is that you're still responsible for the judgment for the damages that you caused. And so what you're talking about when you're looking at equity and properties and stuff like that is how collectible is the judgment, okay? And so if you've stripped out all of your assets into liens that are going to show up as fully encumbered properties, then you better also be hiding that equity somewhere, and that's where you're going to get into trouble with fraudulent transfers, because you can't, if you're talking about using some shell LLC out there and some angel investor to come along, that's a whole different level of fraud that's going on. That's why it's illegal in most states to do that.
Well, there's a look back period. But it says, okay, but if you have it in place now and in 5 or 6 years you get into trouble, the idea is not necessarily to prevent judgment, John, because as you said, what difference does it make if you get a judgment against you? You're going to go into that money to pay it. I mean, you are.
But Tom, if the house is fully lien, let's just take $1 million. So you lien it for $1 million. I think what John was saying is, where's that $1 million
Where'd the
in
$1 million
cash?
go? Yeah.
No, and again, in this case scenario, they say you either put it into regular cash flow and it's spent over time before it becomes an issue, or it's put into a trust. The point I'm making is this: it's not to prevent you from getting a judgment, but it makes you less of a target, because many people, when they do asset searches, won't go too much farther than seeing that the home is leveraged to ABC LLC. So, John, is it true that attorneys do asset searches or asset or net worth investigations?
Of course.
Because you want to know, should you settle for the insurance or do you go after the individual?
Yeah, absolutely.
Break time.
The full financial picture is before we decide what to do and what to release and for how much money.
So therefore, I guess this strategy doesn't necessarily excuse you of a judgment. I mean, if you're guilty, you're guilty. And again, you'll use whatever money you have to pay it. But it's to make you less of a target when people start looking into you. So they look into you and see that you don't have much equity in something. John, how likely do you think it would be if an attorney saw that this asset was totally liened? Would they go to see who has the lien?
I think it depends on how much money is involved here, Tom. I mean, if you're seeing fully encumbered properties, I mean, how often does that really happen? It's almost unheard of that you walk into a bank and get 100% loan to equity loan on something. So you're talking about some fairly sophisticated people and some financial tools that are just not that common. So if I encounter that and I see a bunch of LLCs and stuff, it's going to raise my spidey senses to the point where I'm going to go a bit deeper in my asset evaluation to find out. And it may end up causing me to go into litigation. So I've got the ability to fully depose that guy and to go, get all proctological, and really, as I say, on his finances.
And John, in reality, if you think about it, I mean, my goodness, if you're going to go through all that trouble, it's probably cheaper to just buy the damn insurance.
It would be.
Yeah.
For sure.
We got more coming up. Quite a discussion on
this. Is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver.
Oh.
Now, Impact Traffic.
So let's do
From
it.
the Superstar Car Wash Traffic
Can we
Center.
talk about
this
it as
report
being
is
yours?
sponsored by Verdict
good.
with Ted Cruz Podcast.
And is it the
shaping
one
up
that
pretty
Brian
well
just
for
wrote?
the lunch hour drive. Got light volume for the most part, just a few minor
John,
slowdowns.
okay. Did John look at it?
For the most
Good,
part.
then we'll talk
that would
about
include
it.
eastbound I-70 Peoria out through Pena, and then further east around Tower out towards the E470 toll highway. Watch for lane restrictions there. I-25 is not really doing too badly at all. Might see a little bit of traffic coming in and out of the downtown area, but biggest delay is still going to be in the foothills with rock scaling that started a little bit earlier this morning. Both directions now open. We're still looking at backups out of Idaho Springs as well as at the bottom of Floyd Hill. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
I'm Ben Ferguson. And I'm Ted Cruz. 3 times a week we do our podcast, Verdict with Ted Cruz.
We're nationwide. We have millions of listeners.
We bring you behind the scenes, inside the White House, the Senate, the Supreme Court.
So download Verdict with Ted Cruz now, wherever you get your podcasts.
You know, there is not one size fits all when it comes to financial investing and building your wealth. And what I want to tell you is this. Wave8capital.com. The name of the company is Wave 8 Wealth Management. The website, wave8wealthmanagement.com or wave8capital.com is my company. I created it for people that want a direct approach to building their portfolio and investing because one size does not fit all. You need someone who looks at each individual circumstance and helps you accordingly for your goals and objectives. That's what I pledge to you. If you want to talk to us, I guarantee you're going to see that we're different. 303-771-HELP. I've done it for myself for years, and I turned it public recently. 303-771-4357, 771-HELP.
Have to do idle speed out through this area. And he just nailed it. Well, when a boat gets nailed, it tends to rise in the front for a while, and you can't necessarily see that great. He gunned it, and it rose up, and he had about 6 people on the back of his boat, which didn't help it either. He never saw them, but he could have seen them before, and it was about twilight, like dark 30, almost. You could have seen them, but not really. But it's a very well lit area.
Jesus.
So a lot of things were done wrong. Like he didn't have his radar on. He didn't see the running lights. He didn't maintain the proper speed where he could have seen. So he just nailed it, and then he couldn't see. Well, you can't blame that on the boat. That was the captain that decided to power down when he shouldn't have in that particular circumstance. And
Boy, why would he split then? It sounds like if he wasn't intoxicated, why the hell did this guy split? He fucked up, but there was an argument. Fuck, I didn't see it.
He shouldn't.
He just panicked.
He shouldn't have hit him. He should have never powered down. He should have seen him. I mean, it's like saying, well, I never saw the car I ran into the back of. Not my fault.
He might not have seen him.
Didn't see him.
My phone.
Yeah, I was texting. He should have seen him. And then he knew exactly how bad it was, and so he got the heck out of there.
How do you get out of there? On his boat?
Yeah.
God bless.
He claimed, well, I thought I was taking water. No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
I think, even if you're not a boater, I think you could determine the difference between hitting a boat and not.
You were in like 3 feet of water. You could have just driven over to the sand and you would have been fine, I mean, it was a bad situation.
Oh, I see what you're saying. He thought he was taking on water.
He said he was.
Yeah,
he wasn't. He went right up the back of this damn ferry with like 2 outboards on the back of it. He split them, went right up the top of the damn thing.
How the hell did his boat keep going? That's insane.
Why wouldn't it?
I would think it would be crushed like a car rear-ending somebody.
Think about running up on a trailer, right?
Oh, you mean like a car running up on a trailer?
Yeah, the ferry's like a big pontoon boat. It's a big flat thing with a bunch of people on it, like 40 people on it.
And he's like this.
He went right up the back of it. He had a big, tall boat.
Where did he exit? Like the side?
No, he can't. He just slid off the back after he hit it.
Jesus.
Where did this happen?
Oh, in Clearwater. We talked about it before.
Wow.
That dude, I was telling Mark, the day after it's now come out that he started like transferring assets and stuff he owned a big concert venue and a bunch of stuff down in St. Pete. He started dumping assets the next morning. And they've now charged him. He's facing like 7 felonies, and it's a big to-do. And it's not the first time somebody has died.
Is he getting vehicular?
Yeah. And a whole bunch of other reckless and bunch of,
How often, like in a Like, take where you used to live. How often does someone pull you over to see if you're intoxicated on a boat? Does that even really happen?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know at Chatfield and stuff, they got patrols everywhere checking stuff out. But when you're out on the ocean, is it kind of the same way?
Yeah, they can pull you over and do safety checks and everything else.
I mean, but do they a lot? I'm not talking
Yeah.
if you're acting a fool. I'm saying, do they just do random kind of, hey, what's going on here?
They do, and so the challenge in answering that question is that there's different agencies, okay? There's the sheriff, there's the game wardens, there's the Coast Guard.
Right, yeah, you think
there's a
that.
bunch of different entities that all have different jurisdictional abilities and authority to pull people over.
Yeah.
The Coast Guard can stop you to do safety checks and stuff. You know, to give you an example of how complicated it is, during lobster season, which is like a cluster down there, the boats all have like a sheriff's deputy, a Division of Wildlife guy, and
They're
a
all
Coast
the
Guard
same.
guy, all in the same boat.
That's crazy.
Just so they have jurisdictional authority to pull anybody over.
For anything.
So they don't care. If you're on the water, if you're on an inner tube, they can pull you over and check you, you know. But not during lobster season. It's a little bit challenging because the sheriffs and them have to get probable cause. The game warden can do game violations. Coast Guard can kind of stop you for almost anything, but then they can't.
Advisors, TrajanWealth.com.
Denver's talk station.
Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We've been talking a lot about insurance, and then Deputy D, he said, hey, I had some questions specifically about my umbrella, and I asked John Fuller to look it over. What were the questions that you had, D, to begin with?
Well, Tom, basically, I mean, they're general questions because over the past year or so, what I've heard John say is that one of the most important things you can consider when you're buying insurance is you're actually insuring yourself. And there's a way to do so when this umbrella policy in the event of a car crash. So I sent John a copy of the umbrella policy that I bought from Brian over at Compass just a few months ago. And the primary purpose of that, well, there are two primary purposes. One is I want to be covered for myself to the maximum extent possible. But Tom, the other part is if I, God forbid, do injure somebody in a crash, I want that person to be able to get the biggest possible check that an insurance company can possibly write to them. So my question for John is
even really beyond your ability to pay it. In other words, you just want to do it altruistically.
Well, altruistically for one, and also protect the rest of my assets. That would be number two. And so that's kind of an open-ended question for John. So I thought I'd send that policy over to him, which I did a few minutes ago, just to get his perspective on it, to kind of give us, give it a good look over and see if I've accomplished anything.
Okay. So here's the thing. You've got a lot of coverage, and it's a good policy with a reputable carrier, and it's probably enough to cover 99% of the accidents that are out there.
Well, that's good enough.
And so in that respect, you're probably covered. I mean, there are so very few $1 million, $2 million cases. From a liability perspective, the odds are in your favor that you're never going to cause one of those accidents. But I look at it solely from my personal, standpoint. I look at insurance as a way to protect me and my family in the event that somebody else runs into me. Mm-hmm. And the liability is good and important. I want to have the right amount of coverage and stuff, but I'm mostly concerned about protecting me and my family, because if I got hurt or killed and I was not able to work, that impact is going to go way beyond, a minimal limits policy for some Yahoo in Colorado, or better yet, somebody that has no insurance. So I'm buying the insurance so that my family is protected.
Me too.
And so in that respect, you've got $1 million, and we talked about it earlier. You've got $2 million in liability coverage, but only $1 million in uninsured motorists. Now that's going to add on to your $250 below, so it's technically $1.25 in protection. And only you know whether that's enough, Dimitri. If that's enough for you and your family and income stream to be replaced for the foreseeable future, that may be enough. It's different for everybody, right? But you have to just balance your needs and your assets and your comfort level and risk tolerances to know whether it's enough. You asked earlier about MedPay, and you've got $25,000. I don't see the need in going much beyond that because of the abuses that we talked about earlier. MedPay is great, but having a big, huge pot of MedPay, I think, kind of incentivizes these hospitals and stuff to get as much as they can paid at full 100% value instead of going through your health insurance. And really and truly, once you've covered your out-of-pocket maximums and your copays for that event, I want everything else to go through my health insurance so that they will fully reprice that down to the lowest amount possible for me to have to deal with. Because whether I'm paying them back or not, I want that medical service to be at the lowest, price that I can get it for.
Right, especially because it puts more money in your pocket, too, when you can negotiate.
Exactly that reason. Yeah, exactly that reason. You're right.
All right, we have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
Happy Monday, folks. Some normal slowdowns on I-25 northbound through the downtown area. Some brief congestion spots between 6th and Colfax. Not really adding many minutes to your commute there. I-25 southbound showing highway speeds through town. To DIA I-70 eastbound, lots of cars on the road between Havana and Pena Boulevard. About a 2 or 3 minute delay there. North to Boulder, Colorado 93 northbound, approaching Table Mesa Drive. We have a crash. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
Why haven't you listened to Red Pilled America? I get it. You must have pronouns in your bio. Because if you don't, then you should be listening to Red Pilled America. It's a storytelling show for patriots. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America.
When you're looking for dependable auto service and repair and maintenance, I want to point you to Sheridan Auto Tech. Uncle Kevin Calkin, I call him Uncle because he treats his customers like family. They have a beautiful facility on Colfax west of Wadsworth. Plenty of parking, convenient, clean. And you know what? These guys offer a value and honesty. What more do you ask for? They also do electrical issues for cars, and they do pre-buy inspections on used cars. Give them a call, 303-455-7242, or drop by Colfax west of Wadsworth, SheridanAutotech.com.
Man, $20 a month in that store.
Good afternoon, Tom Martino Show.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, so we're
No, wait.
That's a lot.
No, I got that wrong.
I wouldn't think the GDP of that little town would support that.
Well, I'll tell you, one of their busiest stores in the country is in South Dakota, but it's because there's 100 towns right around it that have nothing.
Right.
Hold on here.
I would think.
I'll tell you exactly right now.
$5 to $6 million a month would be an average.
$250,000 daily.
So yeah, $5-6 million a month will get you there.
Yeah. So he'd be $150 a year.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because their busiest, now that I think about it, is 210.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I think it's interesting, in light of the recent trend towards just letting people walk out the front door that are shoplifting and stuff, a lot of stores are now completely going 180 and are hiring private security guards and stuff to sit up there and to be the, to actually stop people and stuff. And,
what was that time we've been good? What about that bullshit where people could just shoplift? She's not listening.
And they could just walk out, Tom.
I swear to God, I mean, what was that period of time we went through where everyone just got the word they could do it, and now they're not doing it?
Well, they changed the laws. I mean, they said if it's under $900, you can't do anything.
Well, that was in California.
It was misdemeanor level. It was, that just set the offense level at a certain dollar amount. And it's like that everywhere. It's just different dollar amounts, But no, I don't know, Tom. We went through this phase where, nobody wanted to absorb. Nobody wanted to have an employee get killed or hurt trying to save a store from a piece of merchandise.
Sure.
You know.
But it was more than that. There was a whole attitude nationally. Like, for example, and you weren't getting pulled over for expired plates or no plates.
Right.
I mean, there was a whole era there that we were like losing our fucking minds. And
we seem to be slowly coming out of that, don't you think?
No, we are, but I don't know what caused it to begin with.
Joe Biden.
I think it was just the kind of the offshoot of the whole, DEI.
Right.
BLM, all the COVID stuff. I mean, it was just a combination of everything that, when the DMV was closed, for months at a time and people couldn't get in to get their registrations and stuff, they would just let them ride for 6 or 12 months after. But I mean, think about it. We had so much other craziness and stuff going on.
$5 a
Even
month.
as far as back as like the foreclosure crisis, quote unquote, where people were living in their homes for a year or even more after the bank had technically, declared them to be in default
and then you had squatters.
Stuff,
That was another thing, squatters.
I agree. That was crazy as well, and still is to a degree. But I mean, God, it's just things have changed a lot in the last 10 years in this country. A lot.
Yeah, we're getting, and of course, without getting political, we're getting into a more law and order kind of mode, and a lot of mayors are decrying it, saying we don't want to lower crime.
Yeah, they keep demanding more crime in Democrat-run cities.
Yeah, I know. Like we don't need you to lower our crime.
Right. Is it just me, or have they hyped the ever-living you-know-what out of this Bronco game today? Like,
I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, it's been like, oh my God, this is amazing that we've got Monday night coverage and stuff, and there's interviews of the players. What does Monday night
What they
mean
needed to
you?
do is snow for the ski folks.
What they need to do is win a game.
Yeah, I know.
Lord.
He looked good last year, but man, he seems to have been.
He has not improved over the offseason this year, in my opinion.
Well, he might have actually gone down.
Campaign as she hawks her book 107 Days Around the Country. Monday on Ryan Schuling Live.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, so I had a question about health insurance and med pay. Can your health insurance require, I know they ask questions, and one of the questions I get, and when I go to a clinic for something, or my clinic is this a result of an auto accident or somewhere where a third party could be liable? So, John, can your health insurance literally turn down a claim and want you to use your med pay?
No, they can't.
Why do they ask those questions?
Here's the 100% of the answer is because every health insurance out there, if they pay claims that were the fault of some other party and you're pursuing damages against that party, they have written into their contract that they have the right to get paid back. And so the only way they can find out is by asking you, were these a car wreck? And then they'll go on to ask, are you filing a claim? Because obviously if it's a car wreck you caused, they don't have a subrogation right.
So let me get this straight then. If I was in an accident and it was someone else's fault and I used my health insurance can come after a settlement?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. They will do it every time.
And when they do come after a settlement, can you negotiate it down?
Yeah, and we do that. But what you can't do is say, by dang it was not my fault. I'm not paying them back a dime. There are circumstances, and we even have a law in Colorado that say that sometimes you're not made whole and they don't have a right to get paid back. But every contract starts with language that gives them the ability to get paid back. It's called subrogation rights.
Okay. A subrogation right, in short, is when an insurance company can go after the one at fault to get reimbursed.
they typically go after you to get reimbursed from the proceeds that you collected against the third party.
Yeah, but it came from someone who was at fault. I get what you're saying, John. You're correct. Thank you for that clarification. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show, and we're going to talk more about insurance coverages, liability, injury, and, of course, any consumer problem, question, or complaint. 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466, or 303-713-TALK.
Hey, guys.
I'm going to turn on the wide shot for us so you're on.
Who's in tomorrow, babe?
And your
Nobody,
mic's
I
on.
don't have a guest.
So I'll be at home.
I'm just going to go. Do you want anything, John?
No,
I mean,
Speaking of
Bo,
poverty,
I mean,
what
D.
did your dad say?
I mean, B.
His shoulder popped out. He's
Suze.
going to call back after the doctor.
Princess.
I didn't want to tell you radiation doesn't affect you. It fucking affects you. You know what? Everything affects you.
Yep,
You know,
absolutely.
People who say it doesn't affect you and people aren't having it done.
That's right.
That's a good one, Tom. The people that say it doesn't hurt, well, they're not having it done to them.
Suze?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Dimitri.
Yes.
I was wondering, what are the odds that it won't screw up your scheduling if instead of taking Friday off, I take Thursday off, which means this week I'll help out. Today,
It's fine.
Wednesday at the studio, and Friday wherever you guys need me.
Yeah, Friday's planned to be at Tom's.
Okay.
But yes.
Cool.
Wednesday, you're going to come in studio with Mark.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
And-
unless if he's out, I'm pretty much going to be at home.
Well,
I'll check
Wednesday,
in on
Joe
Tuesday night.
Keano's in, so I assume you were going to be here with
Yeah,
Joe.
I'll be
so
here
I
with
told Dimitri to come in Wednesday
Okay.
Oh,
because
cool.
I knew
Thank
you would be here.
Cool. Thanks a lot. So I'll be off tomorrow and Thursday.
Awesome. I'm
Cool.
getting my second shingle shot this afternoon. I plan on it
Yikes.
putting me on my ass because the first one did.
Wow. Okay. Is that
Not
like
looking
to
forward to
treat
that.
shingles or to try to
Prevent.
prevent shingles?
Just to prevent,
Oh.
because you know when you turn that 5-0, you're supposed to get the shot.
Ew.
You're not a Vax guy, are you?
No, I'm not a Vax
I didn't think
fan. So
You don't want shingles.
How's your signature scent going?
It stinks.
I'll
Just curious.
ask Mark on Wednesday after after I see him
I
at
will.
the
I'll
show.
say, how was Dee's signature scent? I missed it.
I'll bring a can of Lysol.
Oh, also I'll be driving my new ride. So
Ooh, what'd you get?
Oh, I'll
Toyota
say-
what?
It's actually it is not a Toyota. I'm gonna send
What-
you a picture.
What is it?
Well, it'll
Motorcycle?
be a surprise. It'll be a surprise. Hold on.
Motorcycle.
Did you get an electric bike?
No, I don't want an electric vehicle. Hang on.
Yeah, you do.
Hold on. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you do.
email this over to both of you. Hold on.
Okay. Falco, that's why I'm getting the second shot, so I don't get the stupid shingles.
So if you want to go for a ride in it, you'll be riding in style and luxury.
Oh, God. You know
Is
it's
this
going
for
to
your
be.
gentleman farming life?
Yeah, you know it's going to be something just goofy.
It's
It's going to be like a Chevette.
No, this is really stately. You're gonna look at. You're gonna
Stately.
look. You're gonna
Does it
look
have-
at it. and
does
you're
it
like,
have
that
your
weird
s-
diesel Mercedes
Dee,
made in the 70s.
Does your new ride have your signature scent?
It will if I spend
thought
enough
so.
time in it. I took it in for an emissions test last week, and it definitely had somebody's signature scent
scent.
after they drove it through that testing facility.
Are you emailing it?
Yep, I just emailed it to both you and Suze. But it takes a couple of minutes for my computer to sync up with Gmail and all this baloney. So give it a couple of minutes, but it will get there. It always does.
What is your home address? I want to. Do like they do on that one commercial. Give out your Social Security number over the air.
Oh, God. That's a great idea.
Let me tell you, D, Meat Fest 2025 was fan-freaking-tastic.
Oh,
I am already looking forward to 2026.
Thank you. Did you get a chance to taste all kinds of different meats?
Oh my God, that was the crazy! I had
Well, now
so
that we
much
understand
fun.
it, we'll know what to do.
Oh yeah,
next
now
year.
next year we'll get all creative.
Did you taste my contribution that I got at Buc-ee's? Did you get a chance to taste that?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think of it?
I've eaten at Buc-ee's so many times it tasted like Buc-ee's.
Oh, I didn't realize you'd been there. That was my first time ever at Buc-ee's.
I hope they open that one up here soon in Larkspur.
Man, it was like Disneyland for adults. Everybody had a smile on their face. People were laughing.
I can't believe you guys were up getting drunk till 2 a.m. or whatever you said.
Yeah, I closed it down at 2 a.m. We had cigars and whiskey. And
It was so good and so fun.
pretty interesting conversation with the frozen burrito king of America.
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah. He makes millions of frozen burritos. And they're sold. One of our guests at Meat Fest, who stayed late, he's the burrito king of the United States.
Of the United States?
Yeah.
Oh, mine went into my spam.
Supermarkets?
I don't know why.
Yeah, supermarkets and...
This went into my spam.
Oh, so you
look
found
at
it?
that. Oh my God.
What?
Oh, mine did too. It's in
That's
spam.
slick, D.
Yeah. Maybe, if
Sure
you go for
do.
a ride in it, maybe someone you
Dee's
know
new
will...
ride.
Maybe someone you know will
What,
see you
is
in
that
it.
like a Ford LTD?
No, it's a town car. It's a Lincoln.
It's like, what year is that? Like 90?
From 1872.
What year is it?
07.
My God, is that old?
It was look at it. It looks like it's brand. It was owned by a really old lady who just drove it to church and back.
I can tell it doesn't have self-driving.
You trying to pick up ladies at the old folks' home?
I'm getting the blue light special at places that don't even have a blue light special with that car. Or
I
blue
bet you
plate.
are.
Blue plate special, I should say.
I bet you get the cops called on you if you go through a bank drive-through.
That's not going to work in snow.
Are you going to put some air shocks on there where you can...
Oh, no. It actually does have an air suspension. It's like riding on a cloud with wheels made of marshmallows.
I'd hate to see his idea of a cloud.
Like riding on a cloud.
It's like riding on a cloud.
With marshmallow wheels on a carpeted road.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's my new highway cruiser.
What'd you pay for it?
5 Gs.
That's not bad. How many miles on it?
84.
480?
No, 84,000.
Damn, that woman went to church a lot.
No, it's a beautiful car.
Yeah, it's parked up front.
Where are you going to keep it, by the way?
I'm not sure where I'm going
Really?
to keep it. I only have one parking spot.
Really?
I haven't solved that problem yet.
You can, listen, you could, here's
keep
the
it at
good
Mark's
news.
house.
You could park it anywhere and no one's going to touch it.
What are you talking about?
true.
That's a highly desirable and coveted unit.
Yes, the number one
Coveted.
car stolen in Colorado is a 2007 Lincoln Town Car.
Look at the luxury and style. That's a
I am
solid
looking
car.
at it. It
It was the first sedan to earn
You know what?
5-star ratings.
We're
in-
selling Suze.
Talk about how you can help that cause. Join me at 4.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John Fuller, our guest today. Welcome to the show. We're here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. This hour brought to you by RenewHomeInnovations.com. They have the most beautiful shower enclosures of any. If you're doing a walk-in shower, get rid of the old ugly tub shower combo. I call them shubs. They have porcelain walls with no maintenance. Beautiful. I mean, you gotta see it to believe it. Porcelain goes with anything, by the way. They can do other things as well, but you're crazy not to get porcelain. 303-904-2000. Here's what's good. They do it in 2 or 3 days. and you have a year to pay with no interest. I mean, that's incredible. 303-904-2000, renewhomeinnovations.com. All right, John Fuller's with us, and I'm getting some texts. And somebody said that they had their health insurance inquire about the car accident. And they did ask me, do I have MedPay coverage? These health insurance people, they're not allowed to force you to use MedPay, are they?
No, we haven't run into them forcing the issue. Usually it's the hospital trying to find out whether you have MedPay so they can get in line to get it first. That's typically the application. Now, you can use MedPay for things like copays and deductibles. So even if you had MedPay, it wouldn't really benefit the health insurance. You're still entitled to the repricing component of your health insurance. So whether you had MedPay or not, I'd still want to use them to reprice the bills and then pay your portion of it out of whatever source you wanted.
If you do run a medical bill through your insurance, and I'm talking health insurance, so let's just say you end up in the hospital and ultimately it is someone else's fault that has coverage, but it got ran through your health insurance. When that other person pays, do they pay when your health insurance subrogates against that? What do they ask for? The exact amount they paid out?
Yes.
Okay, so they can't ask for more at that point.
No. They can't ask for the billed amount or anything else. They can only get back. And that's why, I made the distinction earlier, but it's a critical one. They don't subrogate directly against the other guy's insurance policy. That's not cool because keep in mind, we're holding that guy responsible for the full amount of the medical bills, the actual billed amount.
Yeah.
And so it's none of their business, and we never disclose to them what a health insurance might have paid through their contract adjustments. So they subrogate directly against us. It's me that has the obligation as a policyholder to pay back my health insurance carrier. It's not that third party that somehow has to do it.
Besides fraud, what would stop somebody from running the medical bills, like the ambulance, everything, through their medical insurance, not saying it was related to a car accident, then hiring an attorney, getting all that money, and keeping the money, and the health insurance never gets reimbursed?
Yeah,
is there a safety net there?
Well, not really. Chances are they're going to find out about it. And if they do, they will A, come after you for that money, and B, they won't cover anything that's related to that accident going forward.
Got it.
So when some people say, I might need a surgery in a couple years, you could find yourself with no coverage for that really expensive surgery because you didn't pay them back for their $600 MRI following the accident.
Now, John, somebody texted me, wants to know, what is the make whole doctrine? I don't even know what that means. I think what they mean is you're allowed to be made whole or they can't subrogate. Is there something like that? Explain it.
Yeah. So the idea of made whole, the concept of make whole is that it wouldn't be fair for an insurance company to get paid back until the actual injured party has been made whole. Okay. So I completely agree with that, but there's a problem. There's different sets of rules that control insurance companies. Some of them are regulated by a federal set of guidelines and laws called ERISA, and others are regulated under the state of Colorado.
What does it mean to be made whole? Okay, go ahead.
So for those policies that are regulated by the state of Colorado, we have something called the made whole doctrine. And what that says is when we have a case where policy limits are paid, so let's assume our $25,000 policy, when they pay those limits, the fact that they're paying you all of the insurance gives rise to a presumption that you were not made whole. So think about that. If you were paid less than limits, they would say, well, you were made whole because we paid you everything that you had, and it didn't amount to your limits. But if you're paid the limits, the argument could be made, and it's true, that your damages must have been more than the limits, okay?
Okay.
And for a case where it's a state-regulated health insurance program, mostly it's small employers, okay, then the law says that there's a presumption that you weren't made whole, and although it's a rebuttable presumption, we're not going to allow that insurance company to get paid back at all. And
that doesn't affect future
So the insurance
coverage.
company,
Correct.
the insurance company can only get paid if you were made whole first.
That's correct. Yep.
Because they're assuming, how can you pay back the insurance company if you haven't been made whole? You're not even at ground zero, let
That's
alone
exactly right.
paying them back. Okay, so you have to be to ground zero first. Then and who determines whether or not it's beyond policy limits or not? And are we talking about policy limits for health insurance?
No, we're talking about the claims against the at-fault driver and the limits that person has.
Got it. So if you get a settlement from the other party and they paid out the policy limit, you can make the argument that I was not made whole.
The law presumes that you were not made whole. And so that shifts the burden to the health insurance company to come back and prove that you were. And so they would have to initiate a proceeding and have a court hearing where they would put on evidence that shows that even though even though this presumption of not being made whole applies, that in fact you were made whole and their subrogation rights should prevail.
Which probably almost never happens.
Almost never.
Okay,
I've only
now
heard it a couple times.
You said that's for state licensed.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So insurance companies fall into two categories: those that are regulated under the state division of insurance and those that are regulated under the federal ERISA guidelines. Typically, the ERISA guidelines are for employers that have multi-state operation or that are self-funded. So your bigger companies that have a more national, footprint and stuff, those are the ones that typically fall under ERISA.
Basically, if you buy it on the exchange, it'll come into play.
Yeah, pretty good chance of it, yeah. But those that fall under ERISA, their rights to subrogate are almost, from on high, and no state made whole law has any bearing at all. They're going to be getting their money back, and we're going to have to deal with them.
Okay, so if they are federally, if they're a federal company, they can come after us no matter what.
Yep.
Okay, but most people are going to have state companies, right?
No, probably most of them are ERISA qualified. It's really the minority of policies that are the smaller. It really comes down to this, Tom. If your employer is a local company, like with just a Colorado footprint, chances are you're probably going to be a state-regulated health insurance plan. If, on the other hand, you work for a company that's got 10 different, locations, they run a national presence and stuff, chances are pretty good it's going to be an ERISA qualified policy.
Well, let's just talk about this, John. How aggressive are health insurance companies for reimbursement?
As aggressive as they can be. They want their money.
Wow. And when they come after you at full retail.
No, they come after you at the exact amount of money that they paid out.
Okay.
So retail would be the billed amount, and then the paid amount would be the amount that they repriced it down to, and then they paid.
But so they paid a discounted rate to begin with, of course, their negotiated rate, but they still want to get that back. Then you can negotiate that down even further?
I do, yeah.
What incentive do they have to negotiate it down lower if they know you got a big pot?
Well, the fact that we can drag it out, we can litigate it, we can cost them a lot of money in both time and effort, and we might just prevail, So it's in their interest to work with us to a degree. Now, we also argue that, look, if I went out and did the work, it's only fair that you guys should shoulder some of the burden for fees and expenses and that kind of stuff. And so the argument is that it's not fair for you to get 100 cents on the dollar of what your claim is when, when your injured party here had to pay fees for me to go out and get the money. So we use a lot of different techniques. We also go back and we do our own repricing of these different procedures to make the argument that they paid too much and it should have been a lot lower.
Are they pretty amenable to negotiating, or if they know you got a lot of money, are they going to say hell no?
They would like to say heck no on everything, but they work with us. They understand the way the world turns.
It's pretty amazing that a hospital, they're the only thing in the world that can charge you $40,000 to one person and $500 to somebody else.
But you want to talk about
amazing.
what's crazy? I'll give you a real life example. Okay, we just had a case where
John, can you do this? I want you to remember this case, and we'll do it right after this. A real life example. All right, so we have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. We're going to get a real life example of ridiculousness right after this.
For plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, think Plumbline Services with quality brands like Carrier. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. I use Plumbline in my home. Service professionals, 25 years strong. On a mission of excellence, character, and ethics. Castle Rock.
You going first?
It's 1998. Plumbline
I'm
and
here.
Carrier. Turn to the experts. No phone call, no hassle.
I'm first.
Plumbline.com.
Service at home, service at heart. Plumbline Services.
GreatWesternBuildings.com. Remember that name. They are a wonderful factory right here in Grand Junction, 120,000 square feet, employing 150 people. And they do U.S. steel, 100% American steel, guaranteed for life and direct to the consumer. If you're looking for a steel building, a warehouse, maybe an airplane hangar, a garage, or any kind of a structure, a riding arena for horses. If you want a steel building, look no further than GreatWesternBuildings.com. Serving all 50 states. They happen to be right here in Colorado, and they truly are direct factory pricing. 40-year guarantee, by the way, on their paint warranties. They have in-house engineering. Call them, 303-495-5701. Great deals, great prices, great buildings, GreatWesternBuildings.com.
So I just got back from a extended vacation, and I've been on this diet, these GLP-1s with Denver Regen. Like I said, less than $300 a month. You're not going to get a better price on the medications. But I wanted to tell everybody something. We just got back, and I did eat more than I usually do. We're on vacation, for goodness sake. I'll tell you what, after almost a month, I did put on a little weight. I put on 3 pounds. I lost 45 and put 3 back on, but now I am back working it, and I absolutely love this. For less than $300 a month, you can basically cheat, start losing weight day one. Yeah, I said it, day one. It's a remarkable product, and I'm talking firsthand on it, and they have the best price. DenverRegen.com, DenverRegen.com.
Did you get with Adeline about meeting with her or anything?
I'm going to stop there. She's got to shoot. She's going to shoot back to work. We're going to stop there as soon as we leave, and I'm going to see what's got to be done with the title.
Okay. And then you two will work it out for...
Then we'll figure it out. I might be able to, because who owns that car, me or you?
You.
So because I own that car, I might be able to do everything. Then she can go down with the signed off title. I didn't realize this, John, but in Colorado... And I don't know about other states. Other states could very well be the same. But if you're going to truly gift a car to an immediate family member, you don't have to pay sales tax. But you got to literally affirm and sign shit at DMV that it's a true gift, which is great because you start thinking sales tax is massive.
I didn't know you could do that as a tax-free deal.
I didn't know either. I basically asked Grok, and he's like, yeah, you can do that.
Mark is obsessed with Grok.
I love
now.
Grok.
Obsessed. He's like, Grok, write my wife a poem about being in Maui for 2 weeks and da-da-da.
Instant.
Like, he talks to
I love
everything.
Grok. So I got Super Grok. I paid for the full Monty on it. I absolutely love it.
He talks
and you're
to
reading
it all
the poem, and you're like, oh,
like,
that's so
Oh, no, it's reading it to her.
While we're in the car.
But remember, it's all in my words because I asked Grok.
Yeah, it probably spells weird, too.
That's how you know it's for real.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Grok, write my wife a beautiful poem, but listen, you got to misspell a few things, or else she's going to be...
Too polished and
sweaty.
Yeah, don't make it perfect.
No really big words, okay? Just the good ones, okay?
No big words.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. He asks Grok everything now. Grok is like in our car with like it's an extra person now.
Check this out, man. Hey, Grok, write my wife Suzanne a poem about how great it was in Hawaii for a couple weeks. But I don't have the best verbiage, as you can tell. So keep it a little simple, please, and make it under 30 seconds.
Does it talk to you, by the way, Grok?
Waves kissing our toes, lush palms, sweet air, love blooming like flowers. 2 weeks of laughter, now home, but I'm yours.
But really, that's all me, John.
Did that get you all warm and fuzzy over there, Suzanne? Did that trip the trigger and crank the tractor and all that?
Makes me say yes to another 32 years.
Or do you respond back with Grok? Hey, Grok.
Hey, Grok, how do I respond to this poem? Oh, that would be the best. People still don't understand. Even kids don't understand AI
Who's
models
the construction attorney?
Because I log in. This is my own login.
Right. Okay.
This is like literally becoming me.
Grok, my husband wrote some sappy ass poem on Grok. Write me a response.
Oh boy.
The waves
our next
at her toes.
Our next tip will be interesting. Grok, tell him nicely to F off.
Watch this. Hey, Grok, what is the make whole in Colorado when it comes to car accidents or any kind of personal injury claims? The make whole doctrine. Here's what's amazing about it.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So I just got another email from somebody ripped off by a contractor. Contractors have moved to the #1 spot for problems. And think about that. I mean, you know, over the years, there have been so many people that in the top 5, but #1 contractors, #2 used cars. Used cars dropped off the top 5 for a long time, but they're back up with a vengeance. Since COVID, problems with used cars have quadrupled. People who buy pieces of junk. Now, that's because in these cases, people are buying cars with 100,000 miles or more. Many of them 150,000 miles. You can't buy a car with 100,000 miles on it and expect to be trouble-free. It's not going to happen. Now, of course, when I say that, I always get these idiots who say, oh, I bought a car with 100,000 miles or 105 and I've had it for 6 years and I've never had a problem. I mean, there are outliers, okay? But in general, when you buy a used car with 100,000 miles, you will have trouble. There's no doubt you will have trouble. 150,000 miles, you will have serious problems. And 200,000 miles, catastrophic problems. There is not a car in the world worth buying with 200,000 miles. Unless it's an outlier, one of those rare cases where someone meticulously maintained it, but you're not going to find that most of the time, okay? So instead of shooting for that outlier where you're going to get screwed, don't even dream of it, okay? Just don't. Unless you know the pedigree of that car from beginning to end and can verify the maintenance and repairs and the log of what was done, don't bother. Don't bother. Now, if that means you can't afford a car, I have a very useful proposition, and that is buy a new car. That's right. Buy a new car. Buy a low-priced new car with a great warranty, put the money down, and get a loan. You will end up spending less doing that than buying a used car. I can prove it. Almost every time.
Or lease one, or lease a new car.
Yeah, that's true too. Leasing is a great option for some people. You have less money down, less monthly payment because you're only paying for the use of the car. But really and truly, more people who buy these old pieces of junk should think about buying newer cars. Now, contractors, why are there so many bad contractors out there? I think that a lot of these contractors never even plan to do the work. They basically collect money and they absolutely, positively do not do the work. They take the money and run. We have so many people like that. It just pisses me off. And they get away with it. Why are they getting away with it? Because our authorities will do nothing. They pass all kinds of laws, but they won't do anything about it. They won't do anything to really make it less attractive to rip people off. They just won't. Let me see, this one guy here. Listen to this. He took $18,000 and did absolutely nothing. His name is American Bath Solutions, Peter Completo. Peter Completo.
Completo. Nice.
It's CUMPLIDO. Completo. Peter. American Bath Solutions.
And he does nothing. He doesn't complete the job or completo the job.
No, he's a piece of garbage. And there are numerous lawsuits against him. He's next on Sleaze Brigade, Peter Completo. In fact, I got to find a picture of him somewhere. It's so much nicer when I can put a picture up of these people on Sleaze Brigade. Completo. So what I'm saying is, if you want to make money, become a contractor that doesn't do contracting. Just become a contractor. You don't have to have a license. You don't have to have any skill. You simply talk people into giving you money up front. And there are a lot of stupid people out there that will pay money up front. Absolutely, positively, without question, will pay money up front. They don't know anything about you, but they'll pay you money. We had that one woman who did the garage floor, right? She paid money. She had the job done. It's a piece of crap job. The guy's out of business. What can she do? Nothing. Contractors. I think that the message has gotten out. Come to Colorado, be a contractor, rip people off, and nothing will happen to you. Absolutely
I think that goes
nothing.
For almost anywhere, though, Tom.
Well, in Florida, guess what? In Florida, listen to this one. It's a felony to take money up front and not do something. And it's more than $1,000 or something. Now, listen to this. There are people that 3 strikes you're out, you get a life sentence. You think I'm kidding you? 3 felonies in Florida. Now, they may have changed the law. I don't know. But I knew a contractor one time that was on his 3rd felony. If he didn't complete the job, he would have gone. Could you imagine life in prison for ripping people off as a contractor? I'll tell you what, you would find a lot less people ripping people off. Could you imagine if we had some strict laws here? Like you take money down and you don't do the work. Why do they call it a civil matter when the guy has a pattern of doing it? Why do they do that? They call it a civil. Oh, that's a civil action. That's because they don't want to take the time to investigate and prosecute. But more and more people should be prosecuted.
I think I'm not trying to strike up an argument, or maybe I am, but Florida, I think is number 1 in financial fraud across the board, man. It's because so many older people live there. It's absolutely, it's crazy. They just get ripped off left and right.
Yes, they do. And you know, all of the movers we found that were bad, they're all located in Florida. Every single bad, listen to this, bar none, every single rip-off mover, online, was headquartered in Florida. And also, I'm not going to bring this up as far as naming them, but when something's a fact, does it mean that you're being hateful when you talk about it?
No.
Okay, but it is a fact, but I'm still not going to talk about it. One ethnicity, in Florida for all the moving ripoffs. One ethnicity, one. Now, if I mentioned who it was, you'd say I'm being hateful or
French.
I'm being, what's that?
The French.
Yeah. In fact, I don't, you never hear from French. You never hear from French people. But anyway, in Florida, one ethnicity coming right from the country to Florida, setting up shop and ripping people off in the moving business. It's almost like they sent out a memo in the State Department. Hey, you guys, come on over to Florida, set up residency, and start ripping people off.
But a lot of them end up in alligator Alcatraz nowadays.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, no.
These are not illegal immigrants.
No, I know which group you're talking about.
Why is it though, John? Why is it that it happens that way? It's almost, I swear to God, it's like, and I'm not lying. I am telling you that I've gone through and they're all owned by the same ethnicity. They don't all know each other. So how did that happen?
Well, I mean, I think that there are opportunities to defraud the public that once somebody identifies one of those opportunities, or they identify a crack in the armor, if you will, then a number of other people will step in to take advantage of that. And it becomes almost, endemic to that group, because that's the group that they associate with. I mean, it's just, the same could be said of every other group in different parts of the country. We had car theft issues in Colorado with one group, not Dimitri, but
that's right.
But what's funny is
break time, buddy.
The name.
Oh, it's Cubans in Florida for sure.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it.
But Tom, I mean, think about when people discuss the mob in New York.
They think
Italians.
It's nothing about Cubans in general. That's not the point.
By the way,
those companies are owned by.
But by the way,
especially in South Florida,
the moving companies are not Cuban. They're not the ones I'm talking about. Okay, all right. The moving companies, I swear to God, I without even looking, I can tell you who owns it and that they're in Florida when I hear the moving scam. And I think John's right. It just gets to be around the communities and they say, hey, I'm going to America and I'm opening up a moving company. It's like, there's good money to be made. And let me just tell you how the moving scam works. The first person you talk to are these ripoffs in Florida, okay? And then once you talk to them, they sell it sometimes to another ripoff company who takes the contract. And then that company wants money when they come to pick it up. And then they send it to another contractor who then delivers it, and they want even more money. And sometimes you don't even get your stuff. It's amazing to me. 303. Yeah.
You brought up cars real quick. You were going, or either you or John, you realize it was either 21 or 22, Colorado, numero uno in the country for stolen cars. Think about that. Number one in the entire country. That's amazing. That tells me bad leadership.
Well, like you said,
make that point. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't make these things up. You can't. If I said there was one ethnicity in Florida that has most of the moving scams and I didn't have the facts to back it up, then you could say I was being hateful or I'm just assuming that. So far, though, I'll leave it open. So far, I've not come up with one moving company owned by other than these people. Not one. Now, that to me is an amazing thing. Amazing to me. 303-713-8255.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Now, Impact Traffic. from the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Pretty quiet drive throughout the Denver metro. We do have one incident over on the west end of town. Looks like a crash. Wadsworth Boulevard north.
Oh, you can't find them?
At First Avenue. We are seeing some brief congestion spots around the area. For folks heading south of town to Colorado Springs, we do have a crash on the main highway. I-25 southbound, a right lane block between Baptist Road and Northgate Boulevard. Back to town for folks heading in DIA, I-70 eastbound, some slow driving from Central Park to Pena. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll share the true story of one of the first men to set foot in America, Captain John Smith. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
You know, when I say commercial solar systems, you may think, well, I don't have a big factory or company, but you can have a home-based business and still qualify for a commercial solar system. You may have an agribusiness, maybe a warehouse, or maybe you're a landlord with rentals. Red Rocks Roof and Solar can show you how a commercial solar system can work for you, not only in providing cheap power, but also making you money. First of all, the government pays for most of the system up front, and then you can make money selling the power back to the grid and to retail customers. To find out more, redrocksrs.com, redrocksrs.com.
Specific case?
Are you in Florida for a few weeks, or what? You're just thinking about your next appearance?
You know, I'm back like every other week, so
Okay.
it doesn't really matter. You know, anytime that you want me, I'm probably never more than a week away from hitting the slot that I'm here.
Gotcha.
But generally, my wife will be there for about the next 6 months. So she's retiring in 3.5 weeks. So I'm not sure what the
Is she excited?
thrill beyond
That's so cool.
measure.
Okay.
You know,
All right, give him a call.
she's just happy. She's just dancing around the house.
Oh, yeah. I
Like,
can't wait.
"Grr."
Yeah.
Hey, Grok, write me a poem.
And what should I make for dinner?
Exactly.
That's super cool that she's doing
thrilled.
that.
I'm happy for her. It's awesome.
Has she been with the same company for a long time?
Like 22 years.
Nice.
That's a nice run.
Yeah. It's funny. No, she hasn't, but she's been in the same job. It's just that the first company got bought out by the second company, got
Gotcha.
bought out by the third company.
It's like
And-
any almost.
Yeah, and so she's ended up with all this tenure, but you know, has only technically been with this company for 5 or 6 years or something like that. You know.
That's like Tom's only been with iHeart for 25 years.
Right.
But prior to that, he was with, I don't remember, all the way back to GE.
Right.
So 40 million years, Tom.
40 million years. That's exactly right.
He's finally to that, middle age.
Right,
He's in that part of your life. He's probably going to
Leave
go out
our
and
Tommy
buy a
alone.
Porsche. You going to get a Porsche?
I'm sure he will.
Tom?
My neighbor just bought.
Yeah, I know. You know, I already had a G-Wagon. I didn't like it.
Now that you're in your midlife crisis, you should.
I
go
want to
out
get
and
I
party.
want to get a Tesla. That'll be my next toy. I love
You've
Tesla.
been saying that now for 10 years. I just.
Oh, did you bring it? Yeah. Hey, did you know that World Menopause Day is October 18th?
Oh, he did really.
Parked outside, you know. Makes his girlfriend park in the street, and he parks a Porsche in the garage. And stuff, you know. Like, yeah, dog.
I do that during the winter.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah.
We could park, if I had to, we could park like 7 cars inside.
Did you get a new building, or you just
I got it.
pimping the one that you had built for the RV?
Yeah, I built that in. What year did we build that? 20 maybe?
Right after you bought the
19?
house? Yeah.
That's who built mine, was Great Western.
Yeah. Oh, I was advertising here when you guys bought that house. however long ago that's been.
We bought
it
it.
2015. We moved into it.
Colton Brody.
Yeah.
Now that's the guy for Sleaze Brigade, right?
Easily.
Yeah,
I think
y'all had just done the swap from your Castle Rock-ish home, whatever you want to call that.
That'd be 15, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't move. We owned both of them for a little bit, then we
Yeah.
moved.
Yeah, but that was like right when I started here. You guys were.
I didn't know that.
Flipping
I thought
over.
you were
I should have rented that out.
been around for years before we were in the picture.
We had from 7.
No, because that old work comp attorney.
No, he's still with us. Cliff Enton.
No, it wasn't Cliff. It was that other dude that.
Oh,
got in trouble or something.
no, what's the guy's name? Him and his 3 partners, Sullivan, and McGuire?
No.
No?
No, there was another guy that was like the PI guy before.
1000. Online, AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. John Fuller's with us from Fuller Law. He's talking about auto accidents, personal injury. We're talking about car insurance, what insurance is to have. Somebody wanted to know, if you don't have med pay, can't you get the other party, if it's their fault, to pay for your medical bills right away? John?
Almost never. I mean, never. I'll just go ahead and say never.
Why is that, John?
Well, because here's the thing. They don't owe them. You know, you owe your own bills to the hospital when you go to the hospital. They don't have a contract with that guy that caused the accident. They don't even know if that guy is accepting liability for the accident. And there's no way to say send the bills to that other guy. It just doesn't work that way. So they're going to bill you and you're responsible. And you can turn around and try to collect those bills. But there's never been a case in my 25 years of doing this where they've actually paid bills as they were being incurred for somebody that didn't have their own type of insurance. That's why we have liens and we have all sorts of different ways to get people the treatment that they need, because we have to front load that treatment in order to get us to the settlement table down the road.
And what do you mean by liens?
I mean, we have arrangements where we can get you the treatment that you need and defer the payment for that medical care until the time of settlement in your case.
Okay, so I didn't realize that. So you actually, is it really like a written lien that you actually filed?
Yeah, it's an official. I mean, these are legitimate companies and doctors that treat people on a regular insurance basis, but that also, are willing to extend treatment to people that need it, with the understanding that they'll wait to get paid until down the road.
Huh. And you don't, and do you negotiate these with the big group or with individual providers, or how is that done?
Yeah, both sometimes. And then we have, ancillary stuff like MRIs and surgical facilities and everything else. I mean, it's not just the doctor. Think about all the different entities that have to, provide services in the rendering of medical care.
Huh. Very interesting. Another question I have here is, somebody said they were hit in a parking lot and they exchanged information. And even though it was in a parking lot, they were parked and they sustained injury, but they never got a police report. And it was about 3 months ago. So it's almost impossible to pursue that now, isn't it? I mean, all this person has to do is deny they were in that parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, that is tricky. And honestly, even if you went to the police station and filled out a police report and you put Mark's information on the other side of the police report, that doesn't establish that it truly was Mark that was at, the cause of the accident. So you still have the burden of proof. You have that burden. And so you better take steps at the time of the accident to protect yourself. So that's why I always recommend taking photographs of the license plate. Take a picture of the other driver, take a picture of their license and their registration and those documents that you can use down the road to say, well, how in the world did this guy get all these pictures of you and your stuff and your license and your registration if it wasn't you that was there in the parking lot?
Hey, real quick, John, going back to the lien, do you literally, if you, I assume at some point you filed liens against it or have had liens filed against the claims, do they actually do a UCC1 on it?
Some of them do. I mean, by lien, I mean it's truly a lien document saying we have a right to get paid down the road.
But you can still have multiple people in line.
It doesn't always get filed in a UCC type sense, but it's a lien in the sense of like a lien on your house. It's something that has to be paid at the time that the settlement or the verdict is taken care of.
Got it.
Okay, so 303-713-8255. You have a problem, question, or complaint. I have another text that said...
Wait, hold on. Someone on YouTube just had a very good question.
Go ahead.
So let's say a doctor or a chiropractor or an ambulance company files a lien on it, okay? Or whomever. It doesn't matter who. What happens if ultimately they end up losing? And there is no money because there is no judgment. Do they generally, the lien holder, then come after the individual? I mean, I would assume they have no money, but if there is money.
If there is money, I would think that they would want to get paid, down the end or at the end of the day. Yeah.
Do you see it a lot? I mean, I'm just stuck on this because to me that would seem so risky.
Well, it is risky, but you have to do your homework, and that's where the relationship with the attorney, comes into play because I evaluate risk, and I also, will verify the presence and the amount of coverage on all the different insurance policies, and we can evaluate all of these factors. You can't just walk into a doctor's office and say, "Hey, I want to treat on a lien." It doesn't work that way. It requires the doctor to have some assurance that this thing is going to materialize down the road. And generally that comes through the attorney because we're doing all the back end work to make sure the doctors don't go call the car insurance companies to verify their liability position. So it's just a matter of the doctors saying, we're willing to help people because we want to help people. But we also want to know that just like with an insurance company, it may be a couple months or so before we get paid through that process. We want to know that ultimately we're going to get paid through this process.
Okay. This is a text I don't understand. They're upset with me talking about the movers in South Florida. And they said, how dare I cast aspersions on their nationality? And
They're
yet,
just playing with you.
I never mentioned the nationality. But
That's why they sent it. They're busting your cahuntes.
But I will give you the example of some of the companies coming up right after this.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Pretty quiet drive throughout the Denver metro. We do have one incident over on the west end of town. Looks like a crash. Wadsworth Boulevard northbound at First Avenue. We are seeing some brief congestion spots around the area. For folks heading south of town to Colorado Springs, we do have a crash on the main highway, I-25 southbound, a right lane block between Baptist Road and Northgate Boulevard. Back to town for folks heading DIA I-70 eastbound, some slow driving from Central Park to Pena. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, Vietnam War swift boat soldier Ollie Hale tells the story of his life-changing family secret.
Excel Roofing. Now that's an excellent company, as the name implies, EXCEL, and they're doing permanent lighting. Mark, did you already have yours installed already?
They're literally doing them at my house right now. I cannot wait for them to be finished. Listen to this, man. 1,000 different color options, 1,000 different patterns. That's like 1 million different things. Hopefully they're going to be done in the next couple days. I wish they were done tonight. I'd be having the orange and blue for tonight's game.
And if you're interested in this permanent holiday lighting or permanent anytime lighting for any occasion, and they're perfectly hidden when they're not being lit, 303-761-6400. They're matched to the home in a metal casement and only show when they glow. 303-761-6400, excelroofing.com. I want to tell you now about Wave 8 Wealth Management, and that is my company that I started for me. I did. And then I extended it to people in the public when I realized there have to be other people like me who are sick and tired of the industry. Financial advisors who are not advisors at all. They simply take your money and place them with large advisors. If you doubt it, ask them. Your advisor won't lie to you. Ask them straight up. Do they actually do your trading? Do they actually do your management? Or do they simply leave it to somebody up the line and make the spread? You'll find out about 99% of the time they do nothing with your money except collect it. If you want a more direct, responsible approach to your financial future, why don't you give me a call at 303-771-HELP, 771-4357. I pledge to you our personal attention each and every day. Wave8capital.com.
We've lost 2 cats.
No, she's just been a pain in the butt. She's a little bit of a domestic violence cat. So we were like, God, maybe one of these days she'll just get out.
Domestic violence, or what is her?
Oh, she beats other cats up and puts holes
Tortured
in their
it.
ears and bites
If she's
them.
got her full claws and stuff, at least a fox, a good cat can hold his own against a fox. Now, a coyote, they kind of team up sometimes.
There's like
and
20 of them.
They'll rip them in 2.
We've lost 2, man.
Our freaking Aussie swallowed a bird. Oh, and
Fucking
then
hole.
vomited
She threw
back
up
up.
a
I
bird
was like,
in front of us.
What is
Hole.
disgusting?
Head, hole, head.
So,
Ugh.
our little black dog, which is just the
Like a
coolest
Frenchie
damn
or
dog.
something?
No, let me show you her little mess.
Her dog.
And she's got her tongue sticking out, but this is her.
What kind of dog is
He
it?
looks like a corgi in a way.
No,
It's
she's
a mutt of
definitely
some
not-
sort, Tom.
Not a corgi at all.
So what'd she do?
She's a little min.
Uh,
What she is. So.
me see her.
She's a demon child. Okay. When it comes to like little rats, like
Uh-huh.
big rats, like Keys rats, which are like big rats, or birds. Okay. If she, like, we came home from the grocery store one time in the Keys, and we had a porch on the main living level, and we came in and carrying groceries, and I looked out to the porch, and there's like 4,000 feathers. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell happened? And we had a chair or a couch thing and a little ottoman and stuff. And standing on the ottoman is this poor dove, and he's like this, you know.
Hey, man.
So this Colton guy, he is a bad dude, right? I don't have the background on him. I want to place him on the sleaze rate, but I don't have the background on him.
All right, thanks, dude.
Yeah, what was her name?
It's not in my notes.
Okay, I'll just look for it.
I think we're done.
Okay, was it this Friday?
Are we done?
Friday or Thursday. It was definitely.
What did he say,
Did
Mark?
she use his name Colton?
Colton Brody.
Let me see if I can find it. Okay, hold on.
Well, he might bring you back. We should
Yeah,
stick.
yeah, found it.
I'd stick
Thank
here
you.
another
Got
minute,
it.
Mark. So she's a little vicious thing.
She's a little demon.
What's her name?
Luna.
Luna.
The Luna Claus.
Luna will.
She looks like an older dog. Is she a little gray?
She's been with us since she was like 1.5 years old. She's probably like 6 now. 5.
Oh, okay.
But like we were in the Keys one time. She went running in the back gate. She wasn't in there 20 seconds and comes running back around the corner with this big rat sticking out both sides of her mouth. And she just went and killed it. They live up in the palm trees and stuff. They're called Keys rats. She murdered this poor rat and then threw it on the
Look what I got
pavement.
for
And
you.
the rat's sitting there going. She's just like, I dare you to move, you know, and then she'll pick it up and go.
Little
throw it.
vicious.
She's hell on wheels. She's cool, man. She loved that mountain trail.
Well, ours, the only reason we were
Have you
like,
checked that Facebook?
she had a little blood on the top of her paws, and we couldn't figure out where the blood was from.
The bird.
Then we're looking
Yeah.
around our whole property, and then she vomits up a whole bird.
Whole fight. She swallowed it whole like a snake.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Awesome.
Did you check Facebook again?
For what? Oh yeah, nothing, Mark.
And this is Cardiac Cowboys. If you like medical dramas, if you like heart-pounding thrillers, you will love Cardiac Cowboys. Listen wherever you listen to podcasts.
Sponsored by Jasper.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. I'm going to discuss this more tomorrow, but You know, Deputy D first brought this up to me about apps and smart devices that take your personal information. Why do they need it? Why do they need it? Well, I went to a deep dive about this and found that he's not wrong. There are certain reasons they collect your information. And I did this partly with artificial intelligence, which in itself is stupid, but okay. So many of them share with third parties for advertising. Many of them collect it for analytics. Many have collected for presenting product information, product personalization to you. Others do it to rate app functionality and demographics, and others for other reasons. I'm going to go over some of the apps and software that takes your stuff tomorrow and why. Stay tuned.
You're clear, buddy.
Follow Tom Martino.
See ya.
See you,
Real
brother.
Tom Martino.
Thank
And
you.
stay connected with all of us at 6:30.
This is amazing what I found. You are so it's fucking amazing. I mean, we are all just walking data. Do you know that?
Yep.
That's all we are.
We're walking revenue streams.